Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Data Sim live stream. Today is the 23rd of July, 2024, 2 minutes past 8 in the evening. We're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator for the second part of our Milk Run adventure. Yesterday we were in X-Plane 12 in the Zebo mod. We flew from Seattle to Ketchikan, and then we went to Sitka. We've now loaded in Microsoft Flight Simulator in Sitka. This lovely scenery and beautiful background here, provided by Northern Sky Studio. We're going to do a very short sector number 3 from Sitka to Juneau. Should take only around 30 minutes, and then we'll go to Anchorage, where the second flight will take around an hour and 20 minutes or so. Live time, live weather. Very inclement weather. In fact, we might have to modify our approach slightly to get into Juneau today. I'll try and fly the published approach I have available, but unfortunately Alaska Airlines and Delta, who fly into the airport, have specific charts to get lower minima, which we unfortunately don't have access to. So we'll see how we get on. Someone has sent me an RNAV approach for the other runway, which isn't available on Navigraph, so we'll take some extra fuel. I'll try and do everything as realistically as possible as per the, well, not PANZOPS criteria, as we're in the US, it'll be under TERPs, won't it, in America? But the second flight to Anchorage will hopefully be a little less eventful, so hopefully we'll have some fun here. We'll probably be going around off the first approach for sure. But yes, let's zoom on in towards the aircraft. I've updated GSX, so hopefully we'll see the passengers sit down on the PMDG 737, which is going to be really cool to see. As mentioned, this is the Northern Sky Studio scenery provided by Oleg, who sent it over to me. It looks very nice indeed. I mean, look at this runway here. It's like right on the edge of the sea here. We landed here in X-Plane 12 here yesterday. It looks really realistic. Very nice here. And not much available in the form of approaches here either. It's such a remote part of the world. Good to see some other people online as well. We're live on VATSIM. There's an Alpaca Airways aircraft there. We have an Alaska Airways Star Wars themed livery. I thought it was only what was it? Japanese airline had that. I didn't realise Alaskan. But here we are. We're on stand 2. We're going to get the passengers bussed on in a short while. You can see here in front of the Alaska Air Cargo's terminal, but you can see this lovely little terminal modelled inside here. You can see the assistance is available there. It's nice to see it's all modelled here, but it's a tiny airport. You can see here, look, the Sitka Rocky Gutierrez Airport, whoever he was. It's named after him anyway, but very nice indeed. Thanks to Oleg from Northern Sky Studio for providing the scenery. Let's see who we have here in chat today. Anyway, Romulus, hope you're doing well. Juneau is sketchy weather. Is interesting for sure, absolutely. The approaches are all offset massively as well. We're going to have to fly the RMP approach. No way we can get off the LDA approach there. The minimum's too high with the cloud base today. Devil Riser, is it coincident that you were ill for Riat? I've been not feeling 100% Devil Riser for the past 3 weeks. I'm certainly on the right side of my chest infection, but coughing a little bit. If you listened yesterday in the stream, I was coughing a lot, but I'm even feeling much better than I did yesterday. But there will be an occasional gap whilst I just try to hef up what I can. V Skycheck, hope you're doing well. Spyflies here. Domino Mosina, hope you're doing well. Steve Cooksey's here. Evening, everyone. Who said milk, 2 sugars, brilliant. I like what you did there. Frostset Simulation says leave beacon light off to see passengers in cabin, just for information. Yes, I understand when you turn the beacon light on, it disappears, doesn't it? To improve FPS in flight, which isn't a bad thing. I think that's a quite a neat feature, because you don't want to be staring at the passengers in flight. And if it improves performance, that I'm all up for that. Anyway, I forgot to set up New Sky before this stream, so let's just set up our sector, which we'll do now. So we've got airlines, Alpaca Airways. We're having a really good month at the moment. Actually, I want to go to my flights. Look at the scores this week. In fact, our last landing yesterday, we got a 9.94, so nearly a perfect 10. I was just a little bit off centerline. So let's book the flight. Free flight passengers for Alpaca Airways. We are Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. So the 3rd sector we're doing for the Milk Run. We are flying from Sitka, which is Papa Alpha Sierra India. We are arriving into Juneau, Papa Alpha Juliet November. We've actually done a flight into Juneau before. I was looking at the flight sim map in the it was a BizJet. It was available in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, I forgot the developer's name now, but I haven't done many BizJet streams for you guys. We're in the 737-800, of course. We'll be departing at 19:30 Zulu. There or thereabouts. We'll just take the full load of passengers. 35-minute flight, very short. So let's book it. And we shall start the flight as well. Yes, confirm. Excellent, so that's going to log all our parameters. Let's jump into the cockpit now as well. You can see it's completely cold and dark. And just to show you our sector today, it's super super short. I think it's like 120 nautical miles. We're going to take off. The flight time is around 30 minutes. And this is a real-world sector. We're replicating Flight 67, the third sector, which is originated in Seattle and concluding in Anchorage today. And yeah, we'll have to see how we get on today, because this is the only approach we have available for 08, apart from the LDA approach. There's actually 2 other approaches available in the FMC database, but we don't have the charts for. And look at the minima here. We need to be seeing the lights at 1,880 feet. But look at this, it's not applicable for Cat C and D aircraft, but for today we are going to make it that way, because the other approach, the LDA, requires a minimum of 3,000 feet. We'd never get in off that. Just to show you why, if I look here at airports, select Juneau, weather, you can see right now, look, 4 statute miles, rain, mist, few at 400, broken at 2,400. So we've got a chance of getting into Juneau off the RMP Victor approach, albeit we shouldn't be able to fly this because look, it's not applicable for our category. But I'm not sure how it works here, and I have no specific guidance. But let's go off that and see what happens. If we have to go around, look what I have for you guys. Someone sent me in this in Discord, both Edo, one of my moderators, and Akhtar as well. Look at this, there's an approach that exists here onto runway 26. We can fly this with a tailwind, it's less than 10 knots, and look at the minima, so much lower. In fact, the minima for an RMP approach, 0.3 is a little lower at 1,200 feet, but if we lower the RMP category, we can actually go right down to 316 feet, so that is an option if we can't get in off runway 08 on this super short sector. Anyway, Michael, remember to push the cough button. Yes, look, it works. But it just worked before, I just forgot to turn it off again. But hopefully, yes, if you missed the stream yesterday, I forgot to turn off the cough button. And everyone was greeted with silence on the last approach. Brilliant, I know. Carol Walker, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome on board. Right, let's get this show on the road here. So batteries on, GPUs on the bus, electric hydraulic pumps are on, landing gear levers down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green lights. We then check all the aircraft documentation to make sure we're all legal. Let's do the fault and fire test. So let's do the squibs. Oh, it's so crisp, this cockpit looks very, very nice. Master caution, overheat detector, fault APU detector in op. Let's do the fire test. Fire warning lights going off, and the bell, and overheat detector. The lights that we need are also illuminated. On the emergency exit lights, seatbelt sign. Actually, we're not refueled yet, so let's actually fire up GSX. Let's request boarding. I've got the sim brief all synced up. So I've changed some of my settings. I no longer board the crew and the crew and the pilots. They're already on board, so hopefully it'll just start boarding the passengers any second via stairs, because we don't have any air bridge here. Lee Russell, thank you very much. Evening Chief, 35 months as a member. That's a phenomenal amount of support there, Lee. Thank you very much. Nice. Let's go to Anchorage. Excellent. Well, let's get to Juneau first. We'll decide what to do if we can't get in later, whether I improve the weather or divert to Yakutat, our alternate. We'll have to see what happens. Perfect. So GSX is doing its thing. Let's now, and I've done all this already, let's have a little look at the operational flight plan for the fuel. So I've got it all here. So we're going to take an extra 30 minutes of fuel, even though it's a 32-minute flight, just to allow for 2 approaches, holding as well as we decide what to do. So we'll take 5.9 tons of fuel, which is an extra 30 minutes. So for this, we'll go to FMC, latest AirX installed. We are in Sitka, which is Papa Alpha Sierra India route, and we'll request from here. We'll just get the payload in and the fuel in, but we're going to put a little bit of extra fuel and select the route. We're just going to load it in here. We've got the passengers loaded yet. Oh cool, there they come, look. Minimums. Straight away. Oh no, that's the dispatcher with the load sheet. Nice sidebird, sir. Very, very good. Need to request fueling before boarding with this aircraft. Oh, I just do it manually because it never works properly for me. Sleepy Lab, 52 months as a member. A phenomenal figure. Cheers, Captain. I do hope your summer is going well for you all. Thank you very much for popping in here. I hope everyone else's summer is doing very well, but thank you very much for popping in to today's stream. Why is my wiper on? I never did that. Perfect. So route uplink ready. Load. It's a bit slow, isn't it? Do hurry. There we go. So I'll activate execute. Departing from runway 11, and it's a Sitka 9. Execute. Part arrival. We'll be flying the RNV. So yeah, you see here, we have these approach charts coded in the FMC, but we don't have access to the charts. Look at this. If I go here to PAJN approach, look at that. I've only got X-Ray and Victor. So I don't have charts for Tango and the LDA Zulu. That's because they are owned by, or it's proprietary data for Alaska Airlines. I think Delta fly in here as well, so we don't have access to it. So we'll select the only one available, which is the Victor 08, and that's going to be via SUR. We'll execute that as well. Let's just update the fuel. As mentioned, we're going to take 5.9, a little bit extra to allow for, oh, up in there, to allow for some potential holding. Should we see if the passengers are sitting down as well?
Welcome on board.
Welcome on board. Oh, here they all come. Do they go via the back steps as well? Oh, they do. Look at this. So hopefully, if we look back here. Oh, look at this. They're taking their seats. It's a very, very cool feature, isn't it? I should think most of the other streamers have showcased this already. Very, very good. Oh, just walked through that person. 185 passengers, I think, I booked on this first sector. Amazing. You can actually see them from outside. Oh, you can actually see them through the window. Oh, what was that? What? What? Interesting. That's one way of getting in. Look at that, you can actually see them here through the window. Bonkers. Where's their luggage? Here. There you go. Amazing. It's just, I love it. Absolutely love it. Apparently it's available on the 777 as well. That's going to kill your FPS. Right, so let's carry on with the rest of the show then. So we've got the FMC loaded. A bit out of sequence here. Fuel's done, so we'll do that.
Hello.
Flaps are up, which match indicated position. Do a quick config check. That's all good. Check the cargo fire test. That's all done.
This way.
This way. Oh, there's only one way. Let's do the. Put the voice recorder on here. Stall warning test. Back in speed warning test. Check the flight recorder. IRS to nav. EC's on alternate. No engine control lights. No reversal lights. And we check all the safety equipment as well. Perfect. Cool. We need to put the FMC position. I don't think I did that earlier. No. GPS left. There we go. So that's in. The IRS should be completing its alignment soon. And let's now do our performance. So 0 fuel weights in. We're expecting 58 tons. Our reserves for Yakutat is 2.8 tons. Cost index is 30. We're cruising at 16,000 feet and we'll only be there for about 2 minutes. That's executed. The top climb wind is in 023 at 11.
Welcome on board.
That's good. Let's now look at the performance. So performance tool, I've already done a landing dispatch calculation, so you can see we can land at our maximum approved landing weight. Takeoff performance then, let's import the weather and import all the data from the OFP. The CG, how do you get that in there? There we go. No, we actually import from aircraft because the flight plan's slightly less. Let's calculate takeoff performance. So that's showing for runway 11, which will be departing off today. TA1 with 44 degrees. 90.2. 89.4. I guess that's taking account that the APU bleed's off. That'll do. It'll change when we get the APU bleed on with the packs. Take off flap 5. CG's in. Trims 5.6 units. He's just too high. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Sim update. Yeah, I had that just before the start of the stream. Which is all obviously mandatory. Speeds 38, 39, 45. They're all the same. You can match up. 45 is set. Perfect. Let's do our panel scan up here. Your damper's on. Yeah, definitely hurting the FPS, I think. I can feel it in the sim. With the passengers back there. 4 pumps on. Check the cross-feed valve. Off. There we go. That's all set. Window heat can come on. That's all set. Packs auto. We'll crank up the APU now. Sounds like boarding's almost complete. Flight director's on. I've got the heading and courses to the runway heading. We don't have any ATC here, but we'll set our cruise altitude to 16,000 feet straight away. And I've got auto ATC saying squawk 4324, just in case we do have some ATC. So 4, 3, 2, oops, 4. Perfect. So if I look back here, we should see 185 passengers. There they all are. Oh, someone's even sipping a drink. Amazing, isn't it? It's so cool. What's on his tablet? He's just staring at his apps. Oh my god, it's an actual magazine article there. You can actually read it. That's crazy. Look at all these passengers. That's what it looks like when you finish the walk around. That's amazing. Right, jumping into the cockpit. You can load in all the wins now from the route data page. Oh, cool, thrust simulations. I'll try that on the next sector if I remember. They're also huge still. Oh yeah, they're large passengers, aren't they? Now where's the screaming baby? Yes, that's lacking realism. That is true. We'll select traffic here. And we'll select traffic there. Order brake to RTO. Reset fuel flow. Just make sure this is on legs for Jim. And the radio tuning panel's all set for departure. So let's just give a little brief before we push back. So we are on stand 2. So I'm going to push back here for a very short taxi for runway 11. So we'll face northwest. And here's our SID, it's the Sitka 9. So the Sitka 9 for runway 11, it is climb straight ahead to 430 feet we've got coded. No mention here of anything. It talks about obstacles on departures, but we'll turn at 430 feet, so it's an early right turn onto a heading of 288. So we've got 288 intercept, and then we'll intercept from the radial Victor 428 Airway 167 inbound to Sister Island. And Sister Island, look, is the beginning of the arrival for RNAV 08, so it's a really, really short sector. Cruising at 16,000 feet. Now look at this, you'll see look how close top of descent are, but that's very common on short sectors. That's what happens there. Where are we at? The estimate official is we are at Sitka, Papa Alpha Sierra India. If you look at the top here, you can see all the flight information. So cool, we've covered everything. It's backed up. We've got 13.8 active on box 1 and 2, and we could put this radial 347 just on the course here, just as backup if we lose the FMC or anything. Cool. I think we've covered everything. Now, to save a bit of time, and this is something we also do on very short sectors, we shall load what information we can in the FMC. So 250 below 100, execute, forecast winds, we'll get those in too. In fact, if we were flying this in real life, I'd probably brief the approach phase, but what we'll do that as soon as we've done the after takeoff checklist, we'll start setting up for the approach straight away. But things like this, we try and save as much time as possible on short sectors. There we go. So I'll execute that, and we'll put the QNH in after we get to top of climb. So, there we are. Local altimeter's now set to 2998. Looks like the sun's just started to poke through as well, which is very, very nice. Right, we can now tell GSX to get ready for the push and start. Parking brake set. Prepare for pushback and departure. And we'll just go here to PMDG setup. Aircraft. No, it's not that one, is it? FS actions. Ground services. Remove the chocks. There we go. Hopefully, there is the.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Perfect. I'll turn the music off for a second. I think we've covered everything. Yeah, this is going to be super tight on this approach. If anyone wants to get the METAR up in chat so you can see what it is in Juneau, Papa Alpha Juliet November. Again, I'm having to fly a Cat B minima because Cat C is not available off this. But unfortunately, I did a bit of research online.
Checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
The charts of the lower minima that Alaska and Delta use are not available publicly. They're owned by the airlines, so Navigraph doesn't have them. They've got the approaches in the FMS in the database, but you can't actually select that or find the charts anywhere. Sorry, I've got Navigraph up still. How are passengers hidden on the 7-3? Phoenix uses the flight deck door. Someone said it was the anti-collision light, so as soon as I turn the anti-collision light off, apparently that gets rid of all the passengers. But we are well ahead of schedule. We're due out in 8 minutes, so it's going to be an early pushback. Everyone is on board waiting. Look at them all here. She's praying. Oh no, she's on her phone. Oh my god, that's a massive iPhone. But it's super cool. So let's see what happens when we turn the anti-cowl on. Now we want to do nose left, tail right. So we'll press that.
Release parking brakes, please.
Packs off. AP bleed on. Anti-collision lights on. Parking brake is set. Transponder out off. Let's see if that actually got rid.
Release parking brakes, please.
Yes, I will, sir. We just want to make sure the passengers have disappeared. Oh no, they're still there, even with the anti-collision light on. What actually makes them disappear then? Or am I just going to have to take
Release parking brakes, please.
the FPS hit? I don't know. Right, let's release the parking brake. Better do some unicomming as well.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Awesome. Oh, better go over to unicom. And then we're on our way. Right, that's turned up. Sitka traffic. I'll pack 3 micro miss. Push back for stand 2 to taxi depart runway 11. Did you do milk run both the Zebra and PMDG? Yes, Eric. Yesterday I did the first 2 sectors. There should be a link to that stream in the video description below. Oh, someone's just spawned there. Cool, that was close. Good. Plenty of clearance. I mean, look at the scenery around here as well. So good at Microsoft Flight Sim.
Minimums. Approaching
Am I meant to be CTAFing again? Oh, it's just so confusing. Greg Scott, thank you very much. Also a member for 56 months today. Evening, folks, he says. Thank you very much for popping in. Good evening to you, Greg. Right. To ground. And 2. Oil pressure. And 1. Fuel in. Try and check the spar valve. There it goes. Ah yes, I can definitely. There's definitely a bit of an FPS impact from all these passengers on board. I see them all sat there. So how can I turn that off then?
Please set parking brakes.
Okay.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Yeah, I'm going to say good, just to get rid of them.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Oh, that sounds different. Started out, monitoring engine number 2. Still got this very high EGT for the CFMs in the NG here. Which that would be very, very high if it peaked at 600. 2663, 2 stable. Starting engine number 1. Imagine the cabin secure. And 2.
Unlocking gear.
Oops, didn't set them FRA. We'll leave it. We'll bug up at 1,000 feet. Yeah, in the event of an engine failure here, definitely want to do a 180-degree turn because there's a lot of high terrain on the departure end.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Oops, not monitoring. Max motoring, no problem.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Oh, mate. Oh, feels like the performance has gotten better now. Yeah. So probably engine start gets rid of the passengers. Yeah, I noticed straight away the performance increase. Oh, Anchorage Centre's online. I haven't had a ping or anything. Oh yeah, but I do see them. Okay. I'll put them on standby, ready to go over. That's an awesome livery. Alaska's got some cool liveries. There we are, pin scene, starter cut out, monitoring engine number 1. 2, we'll ignore the very high EGT. 6, 3, 1 and 2 stable. Let's do the 4 taxi flow. Engine wing anti-ice not required. Cool, flight controls. Forwards, back, left, right, and the rudders right and left. Very cool. Blank the lower DU, and then we would do the before taxi checklist, which is now complete. Right, so should I contact these guys? Anchorage is active. I can talk to these guys. Anchorage Centre, hello, it's Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo.
Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, Anchorage Center.
Hello, we just completed pushback in Sitka, request departure clearance to Juneau, then we request taxi. Oh, really? You don't get a ping or anything. Sitka has no tower. I've silenced.
Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, clear to the Juneau Airport as filed. Climb maintain 14,000. Departure is going to be with me 132.3 squawk 4234. Hold for release.
It's cleared to Juneau to climb to altitude 14,000 feet. Departure frequency review 132.3. Squawk 4234. Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo.
Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, read correct to advise number 1 for the runway, frequency change approved.
Thank you. So I just take off on my own, do I hear?
Anchorage Center, good day.
Is that it? I don't need takeoff clearance.
On the ground at Sitka.
Ah, so I didn't need to get clearance from you.
Juneau.
Right, anyway. That's cleared. Pocket brake set. 14,000 is set. Just do a quick config check.
Pocket 5 Mike Foxtrot, you clear to the Juneau Airport.
14,000.
Actually, that's it.
So now do I just take off and then contact him after departure? Okay, just confirm I can just take off anyway. At departure at your own risk, you can get IFR clearance. Okay, so now I've got my IFR clearance. I take off, and after departure, I then just contact him. Correct? America, why? Alright. Oh, this is gonna, I don't think we're going to get into Juneau. Right, let's do the before takeoff checklist. The config we checked. Flaps. 5 green light.
Pocket 5 Mike Foxtrot, clear to the Juneau Airport as filed.
Stab trim is set 5.6 units. Takeoff briefing. So packs are auto bleeds on V-speed set for departure 38, 39, 45 on the MCP. Departure's a Sitka 9. We're going to be climbing straight ahead, an immediate right turn at 500 feet to intercept the 167 radial inbound to Sister Island. Climbing straight to our cruise altitude of 14,000 feet. And that's reviewed. Cabin is secure. Just wait. So just before I enter the runway, I am cleared takeoff, yes. 10-day mission, aren't you a professional? Barely. But it's this American stuff which is completely different to me.
11:41 Anchorage.
Scheduled flight time 30 minutes. Right, what I'll do is I'll do the before takeoff checklist. Below the line. He'll then give you yours. I thought he said hold for clearance. It's all confusing. I'll just say that. So you have to get rid. Okay, I'll ask him. And that's an Alpaca 3 Mike. Oh, I just got a ping. Ah, he's.
Aircraft calling Anchorage Center, taken.
Sorry, Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. Just got your message now. Thank you. So he sent me Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, release for departure, clearance void if not off by 1941 Zulu. If not off by 1941, advise Anchorage Center on 132.3 of intentions. Time now 1931. Frequency change approved. Oh, see, yeah, see, this is not Europe, right? So for me, I have takeoff clearance, and then I can just take off there. So frequency change approved. Alright, let's see what happens. If he starts yelling at me, I've done it wrong. So I go over back to Unicom now, or CTAF, tell everyone of my intentions, and then go from there. Set 1020. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I haven't got time now. Go to CTAF. Okay. Right. Sitka traffic, correction, this is Sitka, yeah. Sitka traffic, Alpaca 3 Road taking off runway 11. perfect. Right, and I'll now
5,000.
go back over to
departure with
Anchorage.
me, squawk
Right, I think I've done a thing.
475 release.
Oh, confusing. Right, Tiger's in chat. Let's now do one of our shortest ever sectors I've ever done and head over to Juneau. Timing. Just wait for the... Oh, waterfall's disconnected for some reason.
Recognize number 1 for the
Stabilised.
runway.
Set takeoff thrust. Now look for 89.4. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. Check, release forward pressure. There's a dead tree on the side of the runway.
Alaska Airlines Milk Run. Do we need the clearance to do?
There we go.
Aircraft calling Anchorage Center, say again.
Alaska Airlines
Keys up.
November at Sitka. Do we need to take clearance to do?
5 here November.
Okay, there's LNAV, no more than 20 degrees.
Yeah,
And
weather-
start that right turn.
It's warm up in Sitka, technically yes, but I can't stop you if you want to fly VFR, so that's up to you.
Just ignoring the pitch flight director because we don't want to go up at 20 degrees in the NG.
And we are smoking 5 we are ready to
No flyby, unfortunately. There we go. Bye bye, Sitka.
Roger, equity.
Okay, let's bug
Juneau
up.
Airport as filed. Climb maintain 15,000. Correction. Climb maintain 15,000. Departure.
So I have to say the flight director behaviour in the PMDG
1.3
is actually
plus
much better
5.
than the Zebo model at the moment. That was much better. So it's a much more sensible attitude, around 10 degrees to accelerate.
We are clear to
check
the,
flats one.
so I finally planned with Federal 150 is working
And flaps up.
and we are holding for push Alaska Airlines 5.
So at what point do I now contact Anchorage?
5 there November. We got correct. This is advised number 1 for the runway. Sitka's uncontrolled. So advise number 1 woman short of the runway.
Advise holding short the runway Alaska 5.
There we are. So flaps up, no lights.
Number 1 for the runway.
All in trim.
5 Mike Fox.
Command A,
so
flaps
hold
up, no
early.
lights, so VNAV staying on the QNH after takeoff checklist. It's very dark in here, isn't it? The lighting in here is really good. 12 degrees, don't need any engine empty ice. Air conditioning and pressurization 2.0. Set. Release the crew on this very short sector. And QNH 29908, climbing 14,000 feet, our cruise altitude after takeoff checklist complete. Alaska Center, hello, it's Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo out of Sitka on the Sitka 9 departure, now inbound to Sierra Sierra Roma, climbing to 14,000.
Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, Anchorage Center right in.
Squawk guide at Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. There we are, squawk guide ends. Oh, we're not going to get into Juneau off this approach.
Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, ready to contact 11 north, correction 11 miles north of York Island. VOR climb maintain 13,000, that'll be your final.
I maintain 13,000 for final cruise altitude, Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. It's 13,000 set. Just update that here. Well, not 130,000. Executes, that's set on the overhead panel as well. There we are. So that gives me slightly longer in the cruise, about 20 miles. So,
Alpaca 5 Mike Fox, show your release for departure, cleanse board, if not off by 1946 lift
So,
off by
we start setting up straight away.
1946
Descent winds are in.
2.3 for
Fixtures in for runway 11.
1936 Zulu frequency change approved.
oops. Why is not... Oh yeah,
Alpaca 5 Mike
That's
Fox
because
for
it's not
release,
the one, it's runway 08.
clearance cancel not airborne by 1946.
10 miles, situation awareness. Now I'm going to put a 5 mile ring, but we're actually going to go gear down flat 50 around 8 miles. I'll explain why shortly to do with the approach here. Approaching 10,000, so we'll just do the pre-cruise checks. Lights can come off for a second. Logo, AP's off, pressurization 4.5. Cabin altitude's going to probably stay at 0 at this altitude. Well, it will stay at 0. Set. Leave the passengers on for this short sector. Checks complete. Now I'm just going to select vertical speed, 2,000 feet per minute. And we're not going to go 300 knots because I want to slow down a little bit here, so I'm going to do 270. So, let's have a little look at this chart then. RNAV GNS Victor Runway 08. So, we need... well, technically, we can't fly this approach, but we're going to have to because I don't have access to the other charts. So, V-Sky LGA, I'm not going to do the LGA, it's impossible. Minimum 3,200 feet, weather, 4 statute miles, which is the actual minimum RVR, broken at 2,400, overcast at 3,500. Very unlikely to be able to come in off this. So I'm going to request the Victor, which has much lower minima. Oh, look at that, just coming out of the cloud. Very, very nice. It has much lower minima. Gives us a half a chance of actually going in.
161 Anchorage Center, hello, reset
So
the transponder,
course is
squawk
070, it's
4071.
offset by 15 degrees. Oh, it's just, this sim is just so visually so cool. 070. 8 degrees, need engine anti-ice on. Excuse me. So courses are set. Minimums then, it's 1880 LNAV minima. Ignoring, as I said, the category today. So we'll actually set 1920 as our minimums, so we don't get below the MDA at all.
161, your radar contact 110 to the dock miles to the west, southwest of the barrel. Big aware, welcome.
It takes ages to set this, unfortunately. There's 3,000 feet anyway. We'll leave it now, hold. Still trying to set 1920. So frequencies, courses, minimas. There's no frequencies, it's not an approach, but I can put Sister Island as active, as we're currently inbound to it, which is 114.0. There we go. So how are we going to fly this, guys? We're going to go via Sister Island, SSR, Sierra Sierra Romeo, to Nimley at about 3,400, then to Ogemi, and Ogemi, if I go here to plan, it's just on the extended centre line around 12 miles, and look, it's actually keeping me very high speed, 246. No way I want to be doing that speed, so I'm going to put 210 knots or below. And then we go to Mene. Now Mene is the final approach fix, 2,700 feet. There's a little bug here, you should have coded 3.08 degrees afterwards, but there's nothing coded here apart from 3 degrees, so it is the incorrect descent path, but what can we do? It's just limitations in the simulator. Now what's going to happen is we're going to pass Mene at 2,700 feet, which is the final approach fix, but look at the minima. The minima is only about 800 feet below the final approach fix. So what we're going to have to do, or how we'll configure, is flat 1, flat 5. We'll pass the FAF. As soon as we pass the FAF, we'll go gear down flat 15. And when you have high minima like this, standard SOP, we set the missed approach altitude 1,000 feet above the ground, but obviously we're going to be well above that, so what we have to do is set the missed approach altitude when we're 300 feet above the minima. So when we're at 2,200 feet, we'll set the missed approach altitude, which is 9,000 feet, really high. So, hopefully we'll see something at the minima. I doubt we will. There's lead-in lights we're looking in for, and then we fly visually with a right turn afterwards. If we're not visual, we'll continue level at the MDA and then execute the missed approach, climb to Mulry, and then make a left turn to Muggs, and then to Chill. And we'll hold at Chill at 9,000 feet, and then we'll have to make a plan from there. Thrust set simulations, LNAV X-Ray 08 chart. Okay. Thrust set simulations. What's the minima on the LNAV X-Ray 08 chart? Could you let me know, please? If it's less than 1880, I'd like to do it. Otherwise, if not, we're going to have to do 2.6 for tailwind. So we covered everything. We're going to use LNAV, VNAV. Top descent in 10 miles. And with missed approach, we brief, we'll do our actions at really high terrain, so you mustn't deviate off your track because you're going to hit terrain. Which also reminds me, this approach, you get hard terrain warnings the whole way down, so you'd never do this in real life, but I am putting terrain inhibit on. Literally screams terrain, pull up, terrain, pull up the whole approach, which if I was to get in real life I'd have to do a mandatory terrain escape manoeuvre, so we're just going to inhibit that for today. Let's just have a little look at the performance. Landing on runway 08, it's actually quite a nice long runway, 2,700 metres. Fuel burning 300 kilos, 62.7. Import weather, import details, and import data from the OFP. Calculate. So flat 30, order break 3, we'll use reverse credit. Look at that, plenty of distance, 1681, so 1,000 metres to play with. Flat 30, order break 3, second E10 reverse. We've covered everything. There we are. He called me. I think it was someone else, Kevin, he called. Too high, is it? Okay, fair enough for us. Alpaca 3, Mike Romeo, request descent.
Alpaca 3, Mike Romeo, gave you descent already, descent maintain 6,000.
Sorry about that, descent maintain 6,000, Alpaca 3, Mike Romeo. My apologies, Kevin, he did call me. So 6,000 feet set, VNAV, and we'll push out into vents. And Alpaca 3, Mike Romeo, I don't know if you're controlling Juneau, but because of the weather, we request the RNAV Victor for runway 08, please.
2-1, Alpaca 3, Mike Romeo, roger, expect that. Everett, taken.
Cool. Top percent in chat, guys. 9 degrees in IC. Romeo 6 for the 57 months, quite familiar with the go around here from the Alpaca World Tour. Had to divert and wait for weather. I think it's very common, unless you've got these specific charts from Alaskan, which no doubt has lower minima. But as mentioned, if we don't get in, we'll request 2.6 and this approach.
Everett 850, roger, yeah, it's Anchorage 1, I guess.
Let's
but
see.
It's,
what's the
Anchorage
latest weather?
1 is current,
We need 4 statute miles. I mean, we might get it's marginal VFR. It's got such high minima though, guys. It's 6 statute. It was 51 minutes ago. You know, if you were 600 broken at 3,000, we might be lucky. We might be lucky.
Mike Foxtrot, center maintain F5 discretion 6,000.
See what happens.
The,
Brief around. We have to go around, don't we?
2992.
So solid discussion 6,000, 2992, Alpaca 5, Mike Foxtrot.
Oh, better set 29902. There we go. We won't do a replay off this approach, just to avoid any issues with the sim. So remember, as soon as we pass the 10 miles, or sorry, as soon as we pass the final approach fix, which is Mene, we'll go get down flat 15. There we go. Cool, you can hear that rain. 10 degrees. So engine anti-ice can come off now. Not the nicest day. There we go. Thanks Romulus as well, 57 months as a member, I forgot to mention. Another superb length of time, thank you. So approaching Sierra Sierra Romeo, the Sisters Island VOR. So actually we need only 2 statue miles, so we've got 4, but again this isn't our category. So we've got the visibility RVR is what's controlling with regards to how if you can fly the approach or not, and that's absolutely fine. Obviously the minima you must be visual with some elements of the approach lights or something. Talking about that, I'll show you what we're going to be looking for at minima. We're going to be looking for the sequence flashing lights.
941, my apologies, but Anchorage altimeter 3010.
God, it's loud, the sim. We'll just turn that down slightly. Not that much. Right, passing 10,000 for 6,000 feet.
Requesting the RNAV Victor runway towards the
fuel lights,
Romeo.
APs off pressurization, 4.8 sets. Belts are on, recall, jets completes. Jim can have the VSD, but there's no use with terrain inhibit on. No, we turned off terrain. Sleepy Lav terrain's inhibited on both. Just to avoid, because you get constant terrain warnings on the approach. Yeah, possibly Swim and Climb. Hope you're doing well as well with the new UK update. We'll see. This will be my last stream for a week, guys, because on Thursday I'm going on holiday. Going to Somerset in the UK. But I feel much better. This chest infection, guys. Knocked me for 6, but I feel so much better even than yesterday. I'm not confident that we're going to see anything here. The meta would suggest it's better than what I'm seeing. This is no inclement weather. I just put the terrain back on just to show you what delights we have ahead of us. See all the terrain appear on the ND. There you go. You got red painting, 11,800 off. It's the highest on the ND. Well above our present height. But we shall disable it. No water land available, David Smith. There's no glide slope here. I've had plenty of days like this where I've flown somewhere and you just know you're not going to get in. Oh, thanks for the fact Spitfire. Oh, brilliant. Edo sent us postcard from Mount Fuji. Brilliant.
Center Alaska Airlines November 2200 feet.
Aircraft calling Anchorage Center, say again?
I need to send it.
Alaska 50 November, reaching 3000 feet.
Where are you flying out of?
Just depart from Sitka to Juneau.
Alaska 50 November, never released you for departure. You're IFR or VFR? Technically you're VFR right now, so if you can maintain your own obstacle and terrain avoidance, that'd be great.
Say again, Alaska Airlines.
I need to talk. I think he gave
Stand by. Taka 3 micrometer, center maintain 3,400 at Nimfield, clear the RNAV Victor runway 8 approach.
Send altitude 3,400 feet and clear for the INAV Victor runway 08. Alpaca 3 micrometer, thanks. Perfect. So VNAV pass speed into vent and it's commanding 220. I'm just going to use a bit of speed brake to hold it slow down.
Next time reading up on uncontrolled ops within the United States, you're supposed to call me before departing.
I must put my hand up though. I'm guilty of that because I wasn't sure.
Are you able to maintain in your own obstacle and terrain avoidance up to 7,000 feet currently?
Sorry,
So base leg now.
I'm look, I didn't understand anything. Sorry.
5 November, that's still not a good answer, but we'll call this radar contact miles south of the airport, climb maintain 15,000.
Alright, we're on base leg now, guys, so selecting flap 1. A little bit faster than I'd like to be, but we're below 250. Keep the speed brake out, just want to be doing around 200 knots when we turn final. I have to say the PMDG is handling in an exemplary way today. It's been really good. Really good. In comparison to the mod yesterday. I think X-Plane needs a lot of work on it at the moment. The lighting and the mod's got a few bugs. This is on the contrary very good. So flap 1. Speed check flap 5. Clear to descend to 3,400. When we're 1 mile before Omega, we can step down to 2,700 feet. Okay, approaching 180 knots on base, that's good, so I'll slow the speed brake. So when we get to minimums, if we're visual at minimums at 1,900 feet, 1,920, we can still utilise the automation to descend closer to the runway, and then when we're more comfortable, we'll disconnect, recycle the flight directors, because remember it is 15 degrees offset this approach. Just go a little bit quicker and do 180.
Center, hello, included the destination airport at 5, climb maintain 16,000, departure with me, squawk 311, correction, 3141.
Gonna have a massive tailwind approach actually. Let's bring the speed back. The wind should be favouring 08, shouldn't it?
67, read back correct, advise number 1 for the runway for change cruise.
There we are, so turning final shortly. There we go.
Back 5, Mach Foxtrot, descend and maintain 3,400 at
Final approach
Mule,
track
cleared
0706.
RNAV Victor, runway 8 approach.
Right, we're going to go flap 10 because of that tailwind. Speed check.
Alpha Papa, descend to 3,400 at the namely cleared RNAV Victor.
So the wind on the ground is 100 at 9, so it's going to swing around at some point. Still only outdated an hour ago, the weather.
Tower 118.7.
118.7, Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, bye. Towers online. Oops, I'm not concentrating, need to step down to 2,700. VNAV path, perfect. Perfect. Juneau Tower, hello Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, established for the RNAV Victor approach runway 8 at 10 miles.
Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, Juneau Tower, hello, continue.
Could you approach Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo? Right, so approaching descent, that's going to be 2,000 feet, set VNAV path speed interval. As soon as we pass the final approach fix, we'll configure gear down flat 15, but remember, we are only 1,000 feet above our minimum now, and that's what we can see. I can't see any ground either. Oh dear. Oh. So approaching the FAF at Men 8. Oh, come on ground. Come on ground. I feel like it's just coming out. Scenery's looking good, great. So that's the FAF, 2,700 feet, no flags. Gear down, flat 15.
2,500.
Start switches, continuous recall check. Speed brake is armed, green light. Landing gear down, tree green, order brake is set to 3. And we're going to leave it in that because we're approaching minimums. Getting ready for the go around. 300 feet above the minimums, 9,000 feet set. We're not going to see anything, guys. We're going to have to come in off 2.6.
Plus 100.
Check. No. No good.
Minimums.
Go around. What's going on? Flat 15. Come on, thrust. What's the thrust so slow? Come on. Oh. Come on. That was a massive bug there from the sim. Yeah, it didn't add any thrust. It autothrottle went to go around, but it added no thrust. Oops, I've accidentally gone to flap. I should keep the flaps at 15. That was my fault. So that's easy to do. Go around flap 15, set go around thrust. Possibility to climb. Gears coming up. Set reduce go around thrust. Okay, above the 5 bugs, select flat 5. Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo going around.
Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, roger, fly the public limit to maintain 9,000. Assuming you could not see the runway, because I could not see you either.
Correct, not visual at minimums. Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. Standard is to approach 9,000. Speed check, flat 1. There's no missed approach speed limit, I don't think. Oops. Ooh, steady. And flaps up. I've lost LNAV. There we go, LNAV. Well, I say I haven't lost it, I forgot to select the roll mode. LNAV. Yeah, I did a bit of a whoopsie on that go around. So I went around and I accidentally went to flat 5 because I'm so used to obviously being with flat 30, and obviously pilot monitoring does that, so I went from 15 to 10. I was like, oh no, I still need to hold it at flat 15 because we went around at 15. Right, so there we are. There's Morley. It should be commanding a left turn now. There we are. Very good. Well done, PMDG. But when I pushed Toga and go around thrust activated, it was way too slow adding that thrust, and that got me into a low speed situation.
Juneau Tower, roger, continue. Be advised, previous arrival went around approximately 2 minutes ago due to no visibility with the airport.
Like a 5 Mike Foxtrot checks, we'll let you know how it's
So we're going to request the other approach runway 26. Just get inbound to Mugs, level at the missed approach altitude. Because we got plenty of fuel. Just an extra 30 minutes. It's just getting over to runway 26 is going to be the tricky thing. So 10 degrees. Jim, can turn the engine anti-ice on. Should be commanding 222 knots as well. It's quite hard to hand fly and do all this other stuff. I want to go, so let's just reduce a little bit of thrust, so we do around 1,000 feet per minute. We'll operate till we hand fly go around, so we don't engage the autopilot until we're level at the missed approach altitudes. Well, the weather, I don't think, is very representative of actually what the METAR is saying, that's for sure, because it did say broken at 2,000, or maybe it was, no, what was it broken at? I can't remember. Shouldn't auto throttle be on? Scale, yeah, so that was what happened. I pushed Toga during the go-around, we got GA, which was correct, but the speed at which PMDG added the auto throttle, the auto thrust was really unrealistic. It was really slow adding thrust, so I followed the flight directors. Because the PMDG was so slow adding the thrust, we got into a low speed situation, so I had to disconnect. What now it's buggy, look. Out quiet, but the flight director was actually commanding descent. Look, I'm having to ignore the flight director and pitch. There's out holds. Right, we're in trim. Command A, auto throttle, and let's just do the after takeoff checklist. So gear off, we'll leave the auto brake in 3. Air conditioning, oh, come on PMDG. Out hold. Climbing and set
Alpaca Tree, Mike Romeo, still with me?
A firm, just approaching 9,000 feet inbound to Hugs. Do you have the surface wind, please?
Alpaca Tree, Mike Romeo, wind currently 109 knots. You can contact Anchorage Center now, 132.3.
132.3, Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. Bye.
Up. Say its pronunciation one more time.
So after takeoff check's complete, we talk to the
That
cabin
makes
crew, we
sense.
talk to the passengers.
Scotty
And here comes the rain. So what we're going to do is
liquidity,
request...
destination airport as filed. Climb maintain 4,000.
We're going to
Departure with me.
request
Squawk
the
5674.
RP26. Why is that not good enough? Okay, pressing the wrong button, that's why. So this is all safe.
811,
It's approaching
request,
chill. We're above
contact.
the MSA. It's all good. And somehow we're going to have to request and get ourselves over to runway 26. Is that actually available in here? PAJN to PAJN. Excuse me.
50, push on Sierra approved.
Oh.
Call for taxi.
Oh, I can't even select runway 26 in the box. Fantastic. No, well, we're buggered. So, I've got two options. I either divert to Yakutat or improve the weather to get in. I would 100% usually divert, but I've got this Juneau scenery sent from Northern Sky Studio to showcase, and I don't really want to end up diverting. So I can't even select. I can't select this approach because it's not in the
3 Mike Romeo, Anchorage Center.
Anchorage Center, hello, it's Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. Maintain 9,000 inbound Hugs, then chill to hold.
Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, Anchorage Center, lower rate of contact. Call it 14 south at, southeast at chill. Fly the published mist, and when able, say next approach request.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll go Hugs, enter the hold at chill 9,000. We're just going to look at the weather again and also our alternate Yakutat stand by for intention to Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. Yeah, so weather's overcast at 3,500, broken at 2,400. So, what's going on in the sim? Is there a way of checking? We're showing the same thing, but that's not what we're getting. When's the next update going to be? Because that's 1853.0, that's old. I'm not sure if we're actually getting that in the sim. Because our minima would suggest we're below the broken and overcast class, so we should have seen the ground. So, you know, it's a bit unusual. I'm tempted to try to set up the weather so it's a bit more realistic, because it's not
here in November,
the weather we've got in the sim isn't that.
6,000, you can still plan the hold.
6,000 in the hold at Alaska
So yeah.
Alaska
Right. I could just change the weather, because it's quite clear I was quietly confident that I'd get in based off the meta, because the minima is below the broken and overcast cloud base, so all that would have been should have been below us is a few cloud. I don't think Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oceanic is closed. Radio service.
Yeah, broken at 2000. So
terminated.
we should have just, well, maybe it was right at the minimum. I don't know. Yeah, all right. Hopefully we'll get a live weather update in the sim. But why is Juneau not updating the meta in real life? Because obviously the sim then can't do it. Because oh, it has been updated. Okay, 10 minutes ago. Should we just try one more approach? What's our alternate fuel? It's gonna be a long evening. 2.8 tons. We got plenty for another approach. 4.2. It's okay. I just checked. Right, but am I confident that Microsoft Flight Simulator's updated the weather? That's the only thing. Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, we'd like to fly the Arnav Victor runway 8 again, please. As the weather gets worse.
Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, roger. You can expect that from chill for now. Fly heading 270 vectors for resequence.
Heading 270 degrees and expect the approach Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. Heading
3 Mike Romeo, maintain 9,000.
Maintain 9,000, heading 270 degrees, Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. So heading let's reselect the approach. So departure arrivals, RNV, Victor, execute legs. We'll just get rid of the hold and put Ogeem on top. There we are.
This 161 called you 5 minutes ago. I don't know if you heard me, but Anchorage, Oceanic closed, radio services terminated, change of rise frequency.
We'll try a second. Yeah, heading's good actually, that's fine. So we'll descend shortly. We've done everything else. Performance, 200 kilos, 62 tons new landing weight. We've got all that extra fuel we took, let's use it.
1 second, sorry.
But based off that weather, if Microsoft Flight Sim can translate that weather into the sim, it's going to be right on the minimums.
Correction via Romeo.
But how good is Microsoft Flight Sim at updating the weather? Based off what I can see outside, not very good. What's the temperature outside? 9. Oops, insurance ice is on. No Romulus, not at all. But to be fair, there's no approach ban. If the weather's minimums, I'd have probably a second crack at the approach based on the amount of fuel I've got. I've got at least another, at least another 25-30 minutes extra still. So I've got some on top of that to get to Yakutat as well. God, look at it. We're just going in and out the cloud here. It looks so good. What? The passengers are back! No wonder we can't get in. They're killing my FPS. What are they doing here? I thought they were meant to disappear. Oh dear. Right. Yes, I noticed. How come they've returned? Killing my performance. They disappeared after takeoff. But no, they don't seem too worried. New meta slightly worse, yes. Well, it certainly was poor in the other sim. Right, hopefully we'll get vectored round here. Unfortunately, I can't adjust the meta. Yeah, I'd have to go to a preset one and it'll be a drastic
Mike
change.
Romeo, turn right, heading 0901, able, proceed direct chill.
Right, 090 degrees, and then we'll route direct chill, Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo. Nice. Oops. So, LNAV available. LNAV.
65986, welcome to Anchorage, where are you parking?
Increase to 9,000. Just made it 220. We should have a new top at some point. There we go. Very good PMDG.
Now you're on, what are you on, Charlie or Delta there? Alright, you're on Delta. You take Delta Kilo, hold short of taxiway
Set sim weather according to meta, but not broken. How am I going to do
left.
that though? It's going to take ages. 10 degrees, yeah, I'll just leave it 'cause it's dipping around 10.9. I think the weather's not improved though. I mean, I could just do a little test. Let me just adjust the drone. Let's have a little recce, guys. Ah! No, where's the camera? Should we just do a little let's have a little... We're gonna go down.
We're at 15,
until we get out of the cloud and see what we
runway
can see.
43 taxi via Romeo Kilo, If you can, no delay on Romeo.
Okay,
for
that's the
traffic,
visibility.
trying to get back northbound on.
But I
Romeo.
think that we're over a lot of high terrain here, and the terrain is in the cloud. Oh my god. Ah! Whee! Oh god. Right, that doesn't look promising though.
Roger. Hold short of Romeo on Sierra, and then
Let's see what happens.
I'll call
Let's
you
try
back.
it one more. Nathan, they return. Oh no. Well, we've got the gas. We've got a whole evening with you guys. Oh, the weather was so nice yesterday when we flew the Zero on. It was like clear skies, beautiful scenery. It's just gone horrible. Or I could just go, you know, disregard all rules and just bust the minimum and keep descending.
Receive 50,
Very
Roger.
unprofessional.
No delay down Romeo.
God, you can see how far.
Runway 33,
Look how
via
far away
Romeo
we travelled from the
Kilo, no
airport.
delay
Nearly
down Romeo,
halfway
please.
back to. I'm not obviously not in the right direction, but you can see the blue bar at the top for the distance.
Actually, that traffic logged off, so take your time, no worries.
Hands up in chat for busting the minimum.
811, wind 2905, runway 33, clear to
That is
takeoff.
not a discussion I'd have in real life. You'd be pleased to hear.
Back 3, Mike Romeo, across chill at or above 8,000, clear the Arnav, Victor, runway 8 approach.
Like to talk to us. We need to descend anyway, otherwise we won't get in. Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, request descent.
Alpaca 3, Mike Romeo, I just gave you approach clearance cross, chill at or above 8,000, cleared the Arnav, Victor, runway 8 approach.
Thanks, at above 8,000 chill, after chill, cleared RNAV, Victor, runway 8, we'll call established Alpaca 3 Mike Romeo, thank you. Right, I don't like descending to 3,400, because there's no, oh no, there is actually, from chill there is a procedural arrival, oh no there isn't. I don't like that. What was the cleared altitude? I like how the people who I never, no secondary minimums, bust is a must. Oh dear, we are cooked. Oh dear, I'm not concentrating. Speed brake, 1000 feet high, 10 miles, flat one. What did he clear me to? I don't like the fact that there's high terrain directly below me.
Oscar 670, release for approach
below the
clearance port,
MSA
off 5 minutes,
now.
call me airborne, freak change approved.
Flat 5. Set an RX point, not going to do that. Fly a visual approach to this. I need to fly the published approach, stay away from the terrain. Look at you, like in Bust We Trust, secondary minimums. I have seen these memes. I hope no one actually does this in real life. Let's see what happens. But no, I'll stick to my guns and I'll do it all as realistically as possible. Unfortunately though, the option of 2.6 is just not available because it's not coded. So thank you to whoever it was that set
Got
the chart.
11 ready contact, climate
Unfortunately,
tape
it's
level
not
370.
even available in the database. Oh dear. Right, approaching a path anyway. Stow the speed brake, VNAV, speed intervents, spunk. 180 knots.
Let's go over 941, you prefer 7 right or left?
Whatever it needs to be, everyone knows that. But I don't
Roger,
think
you expect
the
that?
weather's improved. I mean, I might just do a little dip, because there's no terrain below me now, so I might just do another little dip under, see what's what in the sim.
Reset,
I love
still
if I
not
can do this.
correct squawk, 3141.
So we're now over the sea. So let's go see what's what below the cloud base. Oh god. Down we go. Mountain. I'll just keep going down. We're never gonna. No, there's the coast. We're never gonna see anything. Look at the weather. We're screwed. We're never gonna get in. Look, there's the sea, and I can't see the sea now. And I'm barely 300 feet above the
27
ground.
got you now, thanks for the contact. About 20 north of Annette Island, climate tape 16,000.
What's your FPS? Well, with all the passengers who have magically respawned into my aircraft and eating my PC's performance, Fly Live, which has an FPS counter, is saying 30. Oh, we're never going to get in. It's impossible. There's no auto land available off this runway. Fierce and official. Want to go checks. 3,400. We've been cleared approach. Well, it's just a waste of time now. But no, in my defence, Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is what the METAR is saying. Okay. The METAR is saying Juneau International, 4 statute miles, few at 400, broken at 2,000. That is not what's in the sim. That's more like overcast at 300 feet.
Yeah, it's the one, but
and visibility was like,
by the Anchorage 1 departure.
you know, half a statute mile. So it's not depicting live weather accurately at all. So I think I'm allowed to turn off live weather. I think, hands up in chat if I'm allowed to, because the METAR's not accurate. Yeah, thank you, Morgan. Incorrect weather in the sim. We'll definitely get in there. Right, so what I'm going to do is... let's... Oh, no! I think broken clouds.
Alaska 67, it's a frequency thing.
The altimeter is always the same.
Yeah, you're...
Thanks.
Good.
No, I can't
500
divert
to
today,
1,000
Aaron
miles
Hastings.
from
I would do
anybody else.
usually.
You're not
I would
gonna pick up
100%
anybody but me.
divert. The reason I'm not diverting today is because I've got this lovely Juneau scenery sent to me by a North Sky studio. There we are. I've improved it to probably more realistically what it is. Oh, we can step down to 2,700.
Packet 3, Mike Romeo, contact Juneau Tower 118.7.
118.7. Thank you very much for help so far. Packet 3, Mike Romeo. Bye. There we are. I was granted this though because the METAR was not accurate.
Alaska 5, Sierra November.
What a lovely day in Alaska. Right guys, I 100% want to let you know this isn't my usual thing. I've got this beautiful scenery from Northern Sky Studio sent from Oleg. I would usually be diverting now. I might have to change the weather again anyway because we're going to be a broken cloud, aren't we, at minimums? Juneau approach, hello, Alpaca 3, White Row. Established again on the RNAV Victor, runway 8.
Alpaca 3, Mike Romeo, Juneau Tower, Roger, continue. Information Zulu is now current. The altimeter 299er2, wind 1012. Visibility currently at 4 miles in light rain and mist. Dew clouds 400, broken clouds 2,000, overcast 3,000.
That's all common Alpaca 3, White Row. Thankfully, altimeter's correct. It's actually 29992. Oh, I could go live again and see if it forces it. Let's have a look. Oh, I need to be doing other things right now. Hold on. 2,000 feet. Final approach fix. Coming up. 2,000 feet. You know, pass speed interference. Right. I could have a little look. No.
Alpaca 3, Mike Romeo, be advised. Goose arrival approximately 10 minutes ago. Reported visibility at minimum.
Okay, Alpaca 3, White Romeo. I mean, I'm sort of tempted to leave it. So someone was visible at minimums. No, it's not updated. I could barely see the aircraft after 100 meters. Like, you see the mist already. And at least the altimeter's correct with live weather. Right. I'm not going to get this in at all. And unfortunately, if I press that and cheat, yeah, I've hidden the window from you guys. Oh. Right. There's the FAF, 2,700 feet. Gear down, flap 15. No, I'm not going to be visual in a million years, guys. So again, I reserve the rights because the METAR is not accurate at all to go back to few clouds. I'm definitely not going to see anything. No. So there, look, there's, oops, I'm not concentrating. So, oops, now I forgot to select a lower altitude. Hand flying the rest, disconnecting. So 9,000 feet is set.
Minimums.
So, just to show you, I want to hand fly the rest. Flat 30, just watch that rate of descent. What? Why did the autopilot disconnect again? I've already disconnected it. Match speeds. And just to show you, here, oh god, I'm going to do too much. I'm going to probably be destabilised at this rate. If I just briefly go to live weather, look. No way, look. I was going to see anything. No way at all. Alright, so flaps 30 green light, lights on, checklist complete. Sorry, I'll turn on yoke cam as well. Again, I really do apologise, because I would, on a normal stream, I would divert now, but because I've got this lovely scenery I want to showcase to all of you, I decided to turn off live weather, which wasn't accurate anyway, so I'll reserve that right. Right, 2 reds, 2 whites, looks good, keep that picture. So Mr. Approach attitude set. Right. So you got these lovely offset arrival at 15 degrees. You've got to judge when you turn final. One thing I disabled was the train inhibit, as we discussed earlier, because it just isn't happy on this approach. It just continuously screams at you, you know, train, pull up, train, pull up, which is probably quite accurate. So I don't know if the Alaskan boys and girls disable it when they fly in here, or have some sort of adjustments in the terrain database. It's a smidge high actually. Just set 1,000 feet. Oop, no more than 1,000.
Factory Mike Romeo, runway 8, clear land.
Right, clear to land, South back 3 Mike Romeo. So I'm a little bit left to think of where I should be, but obviously you need to be completely visual for this manoeuvre. Whoa, watch my speeds. Oops, smidge low, I've got 2 reds on those vases. There we are, nice correction. Keep ascending. Thank God the altimeter was correct at least.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Check.
10.
Close. Oh, what a lovely landing. Speed brakes up. Oh, just it isn't reverses. And 100 knots. I'll turn on live weather as soon as we vacate to see actually what it looked like. 80 knots. What did it say the visibility was, guys? We want to make this exit 60 knots. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome finally to Juneau. Reverse cancel. There we go.
Factory Mike Romeo, welcome to beautiful Subi Anchorage. Left when able, taxi to the ramp.
Taxi to the ramp, thank you very much. Alpha 3, Mike Romeo. Thanks, Laura, cheers. There we go, right. So usually, I do apologise because I've broken my rule of changing weather and stuff, but this lovely scenery we've got here, and let's just, there you go. So actually, you know what, 4 statute miles looks good, but I think the cloud base is just too low. Too low.
Alaska 5 here, November.
Yeah, there we go. Right, we'll clean up.
4 statute miles in light rain,
but
400 broken clouds, 2,000 over.
Yeah, so broken at 2,000 is the highest cloud base we've got. Definitely didn't have in the sim. I think the few clouds is more like overcast at 400, but look, you can see here, there's no way we would have been visual at minimum. Well, we weren't visual when we got below minimums. Remember, I quickly turned on live weather. Let's just have a look actually how high above the ground we can go. So it's broken at 2,000 feet, remember. Just hope I don't taxi off the runway here. Yeah. So that's probably 1,000 feet. Actually, you know what? That doesn't actually look as bad. But I think over to the west, is a lot worse. That actually isn't too bad. I think if we actually that was at 2,000, we would have just squeaked in. But no way at minimums we was broken at 2,000. It was broken lower than that. Right, cool. Again, I don't. Well, I think that's actually the first ever time I've changed the weather to get in somewhere. And I would have otherwise diverted to Yakutat if it was any other stream, if I wasn't promoting the scenery. Right, let's clean up. Well, you got to see it go around as well. And the PMDG did a really good job handling everything. The only thing was that go around thrust, really too slow. The auto throttle adding that thrust there. God, look at the train around here. Can't mess around. Flight director's off. Shadow already recycled. So we'll go find somewhere to park. Perfect. So just told to taxi to the ramp. What stands do we have available? We've got all of these. We'll go in via Charlie here and pick one of the free stands here. Tug also landed, but busted minimums. Brilliant. But yeah, I would have happily have diverted to Yakutat if it was another stream. The others got in. Well, what have they did? They used their secondary minimums, as someone quoted. I love that. EasyJet, what are you doing here? Very long way from home. Actually, we'll take the second left here, in via Charlie. And so he was for stand 5-4. We'll go for stand number 3. Or go for stand number 2.
Jet 872, the ramp is on control. That's at your own risk. Just be advised, there's an Alpaca 737 about to enter the ramp behind you.
No. But yeah, otherwise, the approach, as long as the live weather was a little bit more live weather, but I think the METAR was really outdated for ages, wasn't it? On my METAR, it was like an hour late when we flew the first approach, so I think the sim might have been a bit confused. I'm just so used to ignoring all the random vehicles. But why did my GSX put my passengers back on the plane? Ooh, multicoloured lines here, I like that. Right, stand number 2 then, right in the corner. Oh, better get that AP up and running. Oops. Ooh, I think I took the wrong line in. Yes, whoops, I've taken the wrong line in. We'll ignore that fact. Oh dear, my taxiing's all over the place. I was meant to come in on a slightly different line. It's all good, it's all good. Do the wipers now work? No. Shame. Right.
Going on.
Oh, someone's going around again.
November, Roger, flight to publish miss, then maintain 9,000.
Business approach 9,000, Alaska, 5 November.
52 November, unfortunately, Anchorage Center just closed up. I think they've gone fishing for the day. I'll see you on the way around.
Oh, that'll do. 20 centimetres, I guess that is. Parking brake set. Go on APU. Oh, look at this timing. He says, there's 2 blues, 1 reds. Engines are dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Juneau. I don't know what the local time is, but that was a superb approach. Nice little go around as well, but very interesting weather. Shame it wasn't quite matching the METAR, because I think if we were matching the METAR, we would have got ourselves in. Oh, no strut or dance today. It's a shame. Right, seatbelt sign off. We'll do a transit shutdown flow. So that's the steady, open, voice recorder on, anti-collision light off. Close the flight. And we'll request a boarding. Oh. Where's the requestee boarding option? Oh, right at the top.
The boarding requested.
Excellent. So I guess the airbridge will connect. Or not. Why is the airbridge not connecting? Eh? Oh, that's a shame. Oh, maybe they'll have to jump across. Let's have a look at the banter in chat here as well. Best of luck, thanks, all good, Joe Cab needed. Yeah, I managed to do a million things at once on that approach. I would have, do you fly for Camel Airlines? What? I won't recognise you as a real airline pilot now. Oh dear. Will says, oh my god, you're wearing a Where's Wally t-shirt. Oh, I am not. It is. It's the French flag, look, red, white and blue. Oh dear. Yeah, I think I got it from Top Man years ago. But it's a nice colour. Brilliant. Safe landing. What's your speed? Yeah, it got to get a bit fast on the end there, but it was a good butter. 4 statute miles. Yeah, I think it's a bit less than that in the sim for sure. It wasn't far off. It just the cloud base was certainly
Passengers deboarding starting.
Not where we wanted it to be. How are they going to get off then if the airbridge hasn't connected? I'm just curious with this. Well, they don't look like they're in a hurry to get off. What? I can hear offloading sounds, but they are firmly staying on board. Are you staying on towards Anchorage, guys? Fair enough. I'm going to take this opportunity to have a quick break, but let's just have a look here at New Sky. It goes without saying, guys, that's another 10. Off centerline deviation. Perfect score, under 4 meters in normal conditions, of course. 154 feet per minute. Perfect zone of the threshold. There was the missed approach look. There we are. You can see the go around and climb back up to 9,000. Wonderful. Right, I'll take this opportunity to let the disembarkation completes, and then I'll leave the aircraft exactly where it is, and then we'll get set up for the second sector into Anchorage, which is a major international airport with many ILSs and the ability to do auto land as well. So thank you very much for sticking with me so far, and for permitting me to turn off the live weather, which wasn't correct, so we can at least get into Juneau. As I said, a massive thank you to Northern Sky Studio for sending this very ultra-realistic scenery. I'll have a little look at it when I get back off the break. I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes or so. Cheers.
Juneau, currently 1010, runway 8, clear for takeoff.
Boarding requested.
Boarding pass, please.
Hi guys, thanks for the intermission there. Just nip to the little boys' room. Started the boarding process as well with GSX. I forgot it was called for a second. About 3 or 4 minutes ago. Passengers are already being loaded. A few less on this one, 150 odd. I don't know. I think I've downloaded a GSX profile for this airport, but it's just not putting the passengers on via the air bridge or anything, unfortunately. Not to worry. Yeah, live weather's back on now. I think it's actually improved slightly now. I'd say that is 4 statute miles over the airport, but certainly over there it's a lot worse. But no way we'd get in off that last approach to not change the weather. Cool. Oh, I was meant to be a smooth transition, but it wasn't as smooth as I hoped. Right, let's get the show on the road. What? Why does the wiper keep turning on automatically? Is that some weird thing going on with GSX? James Blogs, hope you're doing well. What's the Milk Run? The Milk Run is a term used for a historic route flown by many airlines all over the world, which would have started years and years ago. So I think traditionally milk was delivered as part of the cargo on these routes. But back in the 30s, I think this Alaskan Milk Run started, and it's still flown by Alaska Airlines today. We're doing Flight 67 over 2 streams. The first stream we did yesterday took us from Seattle to Ketchikan and then to Sitka, and today we're going from Sitka to Juneau. We've just done that sector now, and now doing the last sector to Anchorage, the 4th sector, over 2 days. And this is exactly the same as Flight 67 ran by Alaska Airlines as well. So yeah, thanks as well for your assistance there from ATC on the last sector too, and all the input in chat too. That really helps. Nathalie said there's probably a senior issue rather than a plane issue. Maybe try using the plane to call the jet bridge. Okay, possibly. I won't worry about it here, but we certainly had the new passengers GSX, but here I've noticed that the passengers aren't actually appearing at all, but the boarding process has certainly started. So yeah, I don't exactly know why that's not worked, but I did download a GSX profile from the flightsim.io websites as well to make sure it works. Is there an ILF approach for PASI, runway 29 PASI? That's Sitka, isn't it? No, we did the LDA approach yesterday, runway 11, and then we departed off runway 11 today. Cool, so let's get everything set up here. So transit set up, we'll see if there's any weather and grab the ATIS. That'll be the first thing we do. We do have ATIS on 135.2. And we'll then get the clearance to Anchorage.
2,000 broken. 3,000
lies,
overhead.
lies, they're all lies.
Temperature 12. 2.11. Altimeter 299.2.
Yeah, James, there's a lot of airlines like that.
V8
We've got some
approach
at my
to you.
operator. Same
Landing
for
runway
here
8.
in Juneau.
Departing runway 8. 26. Advise on initial contact. You have information Zulu.
Information Zulu. We might be able to depart off 26, which is better for us with a
Juneau
tailwind.
International Airport ATIS information Zulu 1953 Zulu. Wind 100 at 12.
No, no, not with that wind.
Visibility 4. Light rain. Mist. Few clouds at 400. Ceiling 2,000 broken. 3,000 overcast. Temperature 12. 2.11. Altimeter 299.2. Our nav V8 approach in use. Landing runway 8. Departing runway 8. 26. Advise on initial contact. You have information Zulu.
Perfect. So information Zulu copied. We'll go over to tower. Let's see if we can actually grab a clearance now. See what's going on. Juneau Tower. Hello again. It's Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo. We are on stand number 2. Information Zulu. Altimeter 299.2. Departure clearance to Anchorage, please.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, Juneau Tower. Thank you for Zulu. Cleared to the Anchorage Airport via the A-Sort 2 departure to A-Sort. Direct Johnstone Point. That's Juliet Oscar Hotel to join the Whitty 4 arrival. Maintain 15,000. Expect level 36010 minutes after. And departure will be... actually, departure frequency is Anchorage Center, who's currently offline, and squawk 4221.
Oh, well, this is the squawk at the end there. Okay, cleared on the to Anchorage on the Assault 2 departure, then Juliet Oscar Hotel, and expect 15,000 feet after departure, and then 360 for cruise. And just confirm the squawk, please, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo.
Squawk is 4221, and just confirm that's after A-Sort, direct Johnstone Point, and then the Whitty 4 arrival.
Whitty 4. So after the A-Sort 2, then to Johnston for the Whitty 4, and squawk 4221, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, correct.
Perfect. I missed the star, Whitty 4. Massive clearances. 4221. Sounds like the boarding's complete at least. And we can now load up everything in the FMC. So we'll go to init.ref index idents. Positions are already in. Let's request the routes. What's the weather like actually in Anchorage? En route weather should be fine. I'll have a quick look on the chart. And I think Anchorage is okay. So if I just go electronic flight bag. Oh, someone else going around again. So weather arrival is absolutely fine. Few at 700s. They've got ILS there, so the weather's is grand. I just want to have a look at the TAF.
Yes, the business approach. Yes, Unicom Alaska Airlines.
Perfect. So en route there is nothing, just some turbulence. We'll just take standard flight plan fuel. No problems at all. So fuel will take 5.9 tons. Okay. So set the payload for now. Set the fuel, and select the route. But we'll just change the fuel to 5.9 minimum block fuel. Yeah, nice day in Anchorage. Well, a few clouds, low cloud, but off an ILS, no problem at all. Lauren, thanks for that. Technically no Johnson transition, so it's an ASORT 2 to ASORT direct Juneau Oscar Hotel. Noted. Nice flight in a different part of the world as well. I've enjoyed the last couple of days. Really enjoyed planning it as well. Right, activate, execute, departures, runway 8, ASORT 2, execute. There's the arrival then. So ASORT, and then it's going to be this, what was it called? The Witty 4. Crikey, I've not looked at this in much detail. There we are, Witty 4. And it's going to be 07 left, I think, in use at the moment. Via Johnston. So we just need to join these dots, really, because I think the routing has changed slightly than what I had filed. Let's have a look. Ugh, where does this change then? So that's out of here. Long, massive sector, then all the way to Elam. But no, it's going to be now direct to Johnston, isn't it? That's what you were telling me, Lauren. So instead of Elam, we're going to go ASORT direct Johnston. And there's the Witty transition. Superb. And we can sort out the rest later. Cool. Fuel then, we'll just adjust. It's 5.9 minimum block fuel. That's going to be fine for our sector. So 0 fuel weights in, only 150 passengers on this sector. Our alternate is Echo November Alpha. Is it Papa Alpha Echo November? I don't know where that is. Very close look, so only need 1.8 tons. Cost index 30. Cruising at 36,000, I think it was. 36,000 feet. Cruise wind is 152. Let's do the performance then. Performance tool. So import the weather for takeoff. Juneau runway 11. Import the data from the aircraft. And import the weather. And it's going to be a wet runway. So where's the condition? There we are, wet. Calculate. So that's saying TA1 47 degrees. 89.3.
Oh, hello, this is November
89.3, that's good. And we do have the AP bleed on.
Via the Oslo 2 departure, runway
Takeoff flap 5, CG is in, which is 5.58 units of trim, so we'll set that now. Zoom on in. There we are, 5.58. Speeds, wet speeds are 33, 37, 42. We'll just change these to wet speeds. 129. So we'll go off the OPT. 133. Can sometimes get these discrepancies as well. 137.42. V1. The FMC won't take it into runway length into it, so it can vary on shorter runways or other factors such as adjusted speeds. But we'll just go off the FMC. Now, interestingly, I think we've got no passengers here, so I think the GSX just hasn't worked properly with that. It worked great on the first sector, but not on this one. And we'll set V2 142 knots. Cool. Just do a quick panel scan up here. That's all set. That's all good. Seatbelts on because refueling's done. Cabin's ready for departure. Or for pushback. That's all set. 36,000 feet. The elevation at Anchorage is going to be at sea level. Close enough, isn't it? 150 feet. That's all set. Let's have a look at the ASORT 2 departure then. So from runway 8, climbing right turn as soon as practical. Climbing visual conditions. Direct to the Colin Island NDB 212. So visual conditions. I mean, technically you might be able to do that first right turn because it is an immediate turn. But we'll get the NDB tuned at least anyway. 212. Make that active. All works, very good. And the FMC is going to command that turn after 430 feet. So yeah, no turns below 400 feet anyway. It's runway 8 in PAJN. Did I not select? I selected runway 8, didn't I? Yeah, runway 8 selected. So once we've made an immediate turn, we're going to fly inbound to the Charlie Golf Lima, Colan Island NDB, then to Barlow, Linz, Cushy at above 10,000, and then A sort straight line. There we go. And that's based. That DME is actually based off the lock DME here, the distance 109.9, so we might as well make that active. That's off the LDA approach. .9. Cool. And oh, because was it 5,000? Sweet. What a break to RTO. Reset fuel flow. Course we'll just set runway heading, which is 085. It was offset on the last approach. Perfect. So that's all done, and a radio tuning pedal set as well. Sorry, Juneau doesn't have 1-1. What? Oh. What? Yeah, did I say runway 11? My apologies. Oh. That's a bug then, isn't it? Juneau runway... Oh. 08. Yes, let's recalculate that performance. I think the calculator wasn't very happy with something there. Thankfully it's the same. I guess that was just a little bug from the previous sector. But we're on takeoff, runway 8. Thank you. I was getting a bit confused then. I was like, yeah, runway 11. Runway 8. Bug. So 47 degrees, still the same 47, maybe it just hadn't updated. Just press calculate one more time. Perfect. Thanks for that, guys. Alex, your voice sounds scratchy, Cap. Are you sick or just getting old? It's the first one. I've got a chest infection. Well, I'm on the back end of it, so 3 weeks ago it started. Didn't get better after 2 weeks, went to the GP a week ago and said, yeah, you've got a bacterial chest infection. So I've been on antibiotics. So I'm on the back end of that now, feeling much better. But that's why I found very scratchy, indeed. Nathan Newell said the Debrief integration of the PMDG is very nice. It sure is. Lauren saying the star puts us right down with the runway 07. That's fantastic. Great for later. Thrust simulations thanks. I've got that shortcut to put the winds in. And Jamie blogs are flying Belfast to Fire and Microsoft flights in right now. Have you ever been to Belfast? I've not flown into Belfast, either Aldergrove or City. Cool. That's all done. And briefing. Yeah, we've really got a short taxi for runway 8. We'll go full length from Bravo, and we've sort of already covered the SIDS. That's all in. Performance complete. So we'll get our pushback clearance now. Just get the tug all ready. Prepare for pushback and departure. So AP's on the bus. Oh, I know why. Maybe GSX didn't work properly, because I don't think I set the chocks and things here. Yeah, look, the chocks are still removed. So that's probably why GSX didn't work properly. Could be, I don't know. Oh look, there's a little caravan behind us. Right, they're getting rid of all the ground equipment. Door still open. Please close it, number 1. We've got aircraft on top of each other. I can hear that caravan.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Is that the guy from what's it called? The Big Bang Theory. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, it sounds like the guy from Big Bang Theory. Sheldon, yeah, that's it.
Locking gear.
Definitely. Does it even look like Sheldon? No, it doesn't look like Sheldon. Good evening, Alex Russell. Hope you are. So this flight time's around an hour and 20 minutes. Very scenic route. Hopefully, the weather should improve. It's much better in Anchorage. But initially westbound, then northwest along the coast. Well, it's going to take us about an hour 20 to get there. There we are, being lifted up, climbing at 600 feet per minute. And it's got to be nose to the right, isn't it? And tail left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Right, now I've got to get my clearance. And Juneau Tower, hello again, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, stands to, request push and start.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, ramp at June is uncontrolled. You can call short of Alpha for taxi. Just be advised there's a
Release parking brakes, please.
That's going to be taxi on short.
Roger, as soon as clear, we'll commence push call for taxi. Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, thank you. America! Yes, of course, it's a lot of this is
Release
push.
parking brakes, please.
Sheldon,
Good, number 5, I'll
hopefully
taxi
that guy will
via
taxi straight away.
Alpha.
What aircraft is that? It's like a caravan, isn't it?
Release parking
It's
brakes,
definitely got a
please.
bit RCG.
Thanks very much, November 5.
Release parking brakes, please.
So hopefully they'll start taxiing ASAP. Lauren, I've got no radar. There's no way to separate you from this arrival. I can't see until 4 miles out, by the way. Oh, lovely. There we are. There goes the caravan. Oh, they've stopped. Oh, and they're going forward again.
Release parking brakes, please.
It'd be quite good fun to bomb around in one of those around here, if the weather was better. Right, parking brake released.
Commencing push.
Cheers, Sheldon.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Thank you. That's a nice touch. On the tug, look, the wipers are on. That's cool. I did say...
Good afternoon.
I hope that's going to push back in the right direction. Soon find out. I did say nose... Oh, I said nose left, didn't I? No! I can't change... The problem is with GSX. Oh, I'm going to face the wrong way.
75340. Juneau Tower, Roger.
Oh, now I'm going to get penalised for not doing new Sky stuff. Out of, yeah, perfect. Bit out of sync. We'll just ignore the fact I'm facing the wrong way, and I think he's facing the wrong way as well. We'll be fine. Are we going to be pushed back all the way to the runway? Start at the retarded tents.
That was in Alaska, 7:37 approximately, what, 10 and 20 minutes?
Oh, is the door still open? No, it's good, it's closed.
I'm alright.
Aaron, you can sure a program put a lot of effort into these tug wipers. A little thing sometimes. Yeah, it's a nice touch. I don't know where we're being pushed to, that's my concern.
Yes, sir, I'm just
I think
coming
that's,
to the threshold of runway 08.
That's the guy in the caravan talking. Yeah, I think, okay, that tug's okay. I think it's going to push us back on the parallel taxiway. So, starter cutout, monitoring engine number 2.
Runway 08, November 5, thank you very much.
Waiting for the cutout. There we are, 2, very high EGT, but 632 stable, starting engine number 1. Thrust set simulations, you can change the release parking brake message to be once every 30 seconds for information. Oh, interesting. Into oil pressure, N1, fuel on.
Number 343, you should use on the RNAV Victor, correct?
Perfect.
Correct on the RNAV.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I've actually got that release parking brake emoji. Where's the members? You better be using that.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Okay, just carry on, Sheldon, as you are. You can still disconnect the tow bar bypass pin.
I can have literally no way to see your call sign except for
Perfect.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
That doesn't
You
sound
can
like me.
disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is it going to do that big bang? Sometimes it goes poof when it lowers the nose. Oh, no, nice and smooth
In
today.
real life, there's supposed to be some sort of uplink from the radar from the center here, but I don't know if we know how to do that. I mean,
Oh, very smooth.
The arts here up in the dam.
See, that's why you go yell at Jordan and then buy.
Oh, he's going to be cold and damp, isn't he? Oh yeah, Aaron, I didn't do that on purpose. Alex Russell, yeah, that's a bug with GSX when you have the lift target. It just shows your rate of climb on the IVSI, which is obviously not correct.
Tow truck disconnected, bypass pin removed.
Cheers, Sheldon.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Right, bye. You can go now. Yeah, bye. Right, that's all good.
Shower, I'll pick up on my question, ready for taxi.
Flaps to
Takeoff
5.
5 Mike Foxtrot, runway 8, taxi out.
Runway 8, taxi via Alpha, pick up on my
Left controls. Forwards. Back. Left. Right. Here comes the rudders. Right and left. There's the pin as well. Should be waiting for the pin until I see all that stuff. Very cool. Plank the lower DU, which is done. And then we'd read the before taxi checklist. Lovely. I did start new sky for this sector. I did. Excellent. Flaps apparently set to 38%. There we go. So that's 737 is just ahead of us. I'll request taxi now.
Mirror 1155. Anchorage Sun is offline. Think approved. Be advised, a Piper 31 reported over Sisters Island and inbound.
So yeah, no Anchorage Centre online now, unfortunately. So I'll be Unicom after departure.
This is November 5, I'll check the frequency and go to Unicom, but you said you're going offline, thank you very much.
Negative, I'm staying online a couple more minutes, but the center's not online. Frequency change approved. Nobody has.
Thanks, plainly. Just testing.
Okay, radar's offline, thank you. I'll go to Sisters Island.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, request taxi.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, you're going to follow your company 737 on your right on Alpha there, runway 8, taxi Alpha, follow them.
Follow company traffic to Alpha, runway 8, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo. I love runway 8. I love runway 8. Perfect, so parking brake is released. He says. Oh yeah, to get ages. Conflict? No conflict warning. Take the next right. It's actually quite a good pushback at the end. Yes, the flight directors I did neglect, unfortunately. It's really quite a cool departure as well. Immediate turn on the SID, right turn to get away from terrain. So what, whoever went in that caravan, it's not the nicest day to go out and fly VFR. Presuming they went out at VFR. Reset chronofix.
Back up 5 Mike Foxtrot, runway 8, clear for takeoff.
Runway 8, clear for takeoff, I'll pick up on my
Thank you. Cool, let's do the before takeoff checklist. Config we checked, flaps we have 5 green lights, stab trim set for departure, 5.5 units set. Takeoff briefing, PAX auto bleeds on, V speed set, wet, 33, 37, 42 on the MCB. Departure is an A sort 2, immediate right turn after departure.
Juneau information Alpha now, current winds 1009 knots, altimeter 299 tree, altimeter is, or frequency visibility is 4-2 miles.
Stop showing 299 in the sim with the magic B button.
frequency visibility 4,000 feet cloud. 400 feet clouds, sorry, scattered 1,800 overcast 2,000.
Yeah, it's definitely still live weather isn't accurate. Overcast at 2,000. Nah, it's way worse than that. Ascot ASOT 2 departure, right turn inbound to Cullen Islands, then Barlow, Linz, Cushy, then ASOT, climbing to 15,000. NADP 1, or NADP 2, and we'll accelerate 1,000 feet above the ground. I should just turn that off, departure, that's fine. Reviewed, cabin secure, checks complete. Once again, Mass Effect to Northern Sky Studio for the scenery. Love it when I've got, I think Microsoft Flight Sim, the default scenery is a lot to be desired, as you'll see in Anchorage. I've actually got some free scenery for that, which I think is very basic, just to ensure they've got the correct taxiway markings, but the scenery that is available is some really high quality ones. Now Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo ready for departure.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, roger, 1 to arrive prior to departure.
Roger, out of position, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo.
3-4 Sierra, you're probably not going to believe me, but runway lighting in sight.
3-4 Sierra, I think I'm just about seeing you now there, runway 8, you're clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 08.
Secondary minimums.
Okay.
Unless he's got a different approach.
Back 5, Mike Fox, unfortunate departure is offline, frequency change approved. Piper 31 coming in on the arrival on 8 now, should be no faster as you climb the level.
Check for the traffic, we'll switch on the frequency, I'll back up on my profile, thanks for ATC, bye.
Fucking great sense.
I'm always the last one to salute the chicken. I'm just telling that that's the guy.
There's traffic there somewhere. So I said they're visual with the runway. But he's not visual with us. You wouldn't usually put the transponder on here, because it just provide nuisance traffic warnings, but there they are, look, 1,500 feet. Yeah, I can't see them. Secondary minimums! I love that term, it's so funny. I can't see them. Where are they, guys? I'm waiting for these lights to come out of the mist. Lauren, I can barely see them. Yeah, I mean, I was at 2,000 feet, and I put drone cam on, and I could only see it about 200 feet above the ground. That's when the ground came into view, about 200 feet. Where are they now? They are 800 feet. 800 feet. Ah, look at. I mean, the live weather is balked at the moment here in Juneau. They're 800 feet above us. 700 feet. Where are they?
You'll never see it coming.
You'll never see it coming. No, I still can't see them. 600 feet. Gonna come through that gap, aren't they? $400 feet. Cat 4 approach. Where are they? TA now for us, 200 feet above the ground. I still can't see. There they are. What are they in? Oh my god, that's a bit sketchy. Oh my days. Yeah, they weren't visual. What is it? A little twin, isn't it? Well done, getting in.
Back and forth, Mike Fox, runway 8, land runway.
Line of way, runway 8, Alpaca 4, Mike Romeo. Well done. Dear. Maybe did the same as me with the weather. Right, clear the line up and wait. All throttle LNAV. Lights coming on.
737 don't have anything on me. Please let me go taxi toward...
Transfer the TARA weather radar's on. So MCP.
340, welcome to Juneau, left to enable taxi.
Transponder TARA, strobe lights on. And waiting for clearance.
Alpaca 4, Mike Romeo, runway 8, clear for takeoff.
Right, clear takeoff, Alpaca 4, Mike Romeo. Perfect. Lights are on. Checklist complete. Right, let's go to Anchorage, guys. Timing. To be fair, the Viz looks about 4 statute miles. Oh, got full left on my rudder. That's actually going to work out okay at the end. Well, there's no point putting the wipers on. Not yet working in the sim, unfortunately. So, stabilised. Set takeoff thrust. For 89.3, takeoff thrust sets, indications normal.
89.
Checked, release full pressure.
And 340, thanks.
Wind straight down the runway, it's lovely.
V1.
Rotate.
Up we go. Not much of a dead band, but feels good. Gear up. So waiting for that immediate right turn at 400 feet. There it is, 400 feet, right turn. Otherwise we're going to hit a mountain. Thousand feet, bug up. So V2 plus 15 accelerating, flat 1. There's the speed trim system activating, that's cool. Oh, look at the, oh my god, look at the terrain!
Confirmation for the afternoon frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, I'll pack a 4 mile row. Thank you very much for your time, Lauren. Have a lovely evening.
No problem, see you soon.
Aye. Perfect, flaps up. Oh god, did you see all that terrain in the mist? It's
Any aircraft on this frequency?
sketchy as hell.
Oh
Oh my god, that is horrible. You don't want to have an engine failure here. God, that you have to have an immediate turn if you had an engine failure. Crikey. There must be some sort of special engine out Sid here.
November 11 and tuning to Unicom
Right,
122.
we'll go with Unicom as well, I think. There we are, we're climbing well. So, flaps up, no lights. Oh, no, that was a bit naughty of me. I was well off the flight directors when I put the autopilot in. Well recovered PMDG. So, Command A. And VNAV. Climb to 15,000 after takeoff checklist. We can now start. Gear off. Order brake off. So the CFM's winding away. Outside air temperature's 12. We'll need the engine anti-ice on in a second. We'll turn those off for now though. Air conditioning and pressurization 2.0. Climbing to 360. Set. Release the crew. Our temperature is 299 at 2, passing 5,100 for 15,000 after takeoff checks. Moving streaming now for 2 hours 10 minutes. We haven't actually seen the sun yet. Hopefully on this sector we'll get above the clouds and enjoy the Alaskan afternoon. That's very kind of you, RedKid198, to offer to donate. No need at all. If you're just enjoying it, you could just interact in chat somewhere on there somewhere. But yeah, I can see you. Lauren was doing the ATC Rosie, yes. Fantastic for her to give the time today for that. Just made it a lot more realistic. And the Alaskan controller as well. The only thing that wasn't realistic was the live weather, unfortunately. I mean, I think it wasn't bad. I think it was quite close, but it's just a shame that Juneau requires such high minima on that approach, and the approaches that we don't have access to because it's owned by Alaska Airlines proprietary data apparently, and with Delta. And my operator's the same. We have company coded approaches in the FMC and specific charts from our chart provider, which no other airline has access to. So yeah, so just couldn't fly them. No doubt they have lower minima. Pan, that was the outer marker. I think it was just picking up an outer marker from Juneau. 11 degrees. Getting brighter as we climb. Kevin, one of these days I'll get my control check question answered. Go for it, Kevin. You've got my undivided attention. There we are. Passing 10 or 10,200, 15,000. Go straight up to our cruise. There's no ATC. Do the pre-cruise checks. So fuel, we've got 4 pumps on, nothing in the centre. Lights. Logo's off, APU's off, pressurization 4.2 and set. We'll just get a bit higher until we release the passengers. Recall. Temperature's now increasing because of the acceleration, 13 degrees. So it's really nice that things like this are modelled in Microsoft Flight Sim. Ram rise or compressibility from friction. Yeah, smooth enough, isn't it? Release the passengers. And log on to CPDLC, jets complete. You can see as we climb, the amount of light increases, so the cockpit lighting increases as well. Siberia, good question. What's the difference between ground speed and airspeed? So ground speed is taking into account the air density and also any wind, so that will show you your ground speed. Your true airspeed is the actual speed as you move through the air, taking into account the fact that the air is less dense. So as you climb and maintain a fixed indicated airspeed, your true airspeed and ground speed will increase because the air becomes less dense, but there's less air going into the pitot probe as we climb. Kevin, when doing the control check, are you just checking the feel? Are you looking at some visual cue that you're moving as expected? Great question, Kevin. I think someone certainly asked that before. It must not have been you. So yeah, we don't have the FCS monitor for the flight control. So when I press systems, it's exactly the same as ours. So we are just making sure there's no restrictions in the controls. We have full and free movement, no blockages or anything like that. There's no visual cue or check. It's all feel with the elevator and roll control with the control column and the rudder pedals as well. Cool, set standards. Still 13 degrees. Thrust simulations. Are you not allowed to manually enter an approach if your chart, but it's not in the FMC for RNAV 26? Great question. No. If it's an RNAV approach, you must have the coded approach selected in the FMC. You can't build one off it because that has the correct flight path, the correct glide path angles, the correct heights, the correct tracks and distances. And it's built by the navigation provider for the database. So yeah, you can't build something like that manually. Sorry, Siberia. I do sometimes speak quite quickly, and I do understand that not all of you are non-native English speakers. So I will re-explain that a little bit. I'll break it down a little bit here. So you have your 3 speed indications here. We'll ignore Mach for this explanation. You have your indicated airspeed, you have your ground speed, and you have your true airspeed. Now, indicated airspeed is from the pitot tube. That's the air coming into the pitot tube and measures the pressure, indicates your speed. As you climb, the air becomes less dense, so we have a fixed indicated airspeed of 286 knots. But our true airspeed is increasing because we're actually going faster and accelerating through the air, but the indicated airspeed is staying the same because the air is getting less dense. The ground speed is taking your wind into account. So the difference, basically all ground speed is your true airspeed and then any wind factor. So if I go here to the progress page, select progress page 2, you can see we have a 37 knot tailwind. So if you take 385 knots, add 35 or 37, it's constantly changing, that's your ground speed. And that is the speed of the aircraft over the ground. I hope that sort of is a better explanation, and sorry I was a little bit fast paced on the first explanation. Kevin, does the first officer feel you moving the controls on your side? No, it's they follow through on the rudder to make sure that that's okay, but the flight controls, it's just done by pilot flying. Red Kid, what's the longest time you've flown in the 737? I did a flight from an undisclosed UK departure point to the Canary Islands to Fuerteventura with a very strong headwind. I think it was like 5 hours and 20 minutes. Oh! We're out the cloud finally. And inbound from ASOT to our next waypoint. Fantastic. This sim is stunning. Beautiful. Still not the nicest day down here. Nice tailwind picking up though. Oddsock, what instrument measures wing speed? I guess you are measuring wind speed. So this is this data here that's working out the wind. It's inertial data, so it can take out. There's loads of parameters being fed into the aircraft. The ADI I use taking data from static sources, pitot sources, your GPS, and it can work out inertial data. I remember discussing with someone how it works it out on the takeoff roll, and but once it becomes alive once you're above 100 knots or so. I really don't actually know. I think it's inertial. It's very clever, but how it works it out exactly. But on the ground, I don't know how it works. Perfect, Siberia, and coming in from the United Arab Emirates. It must be very early in the morning for you, sir. Oh, hello, Torin 4x4. Yes, I caught it live. Yes, it'll be good morning to you in Australia. Coming into icing conditions, so outside air temperature is minus 23, engine NCI's coming on. Turn down the circuit breaker lighting, and we don't need the floodlight on here. Perfect. I have to say, really impressed with Microsoft Flight Sim. The live weather has been the only issue. I love X-Plane 12, but I'm just comparing the stream from yesterday. The performance, but the visuals are fantastic. They are just absolutely breathtaking. The PMDG is really, really good as well. The handling, takeoff and landing is the only area I'm not a huge fan of, but it's acceptable. It's pretty good. The inputs I make on the controls are equivalent to the real aircraft. And it explains with the lighting issue in the cockpit still, and we're having performance issues at the end of the sim. The mouse stopped working, replay crashes. That's still an issue. It's just it feels more polished now, Microsoft Flight Sim. Cyber, how many hours do I have? Let's have a look. So my logbook is showing me total time, total hours. So on the aircrafts, well, I've done 2,671 flights, 6,399 hours, and 348 sessions as an instructor and examiner, 1,465 hours. So I don't know if that will come up here on yoke cam, but there you go. You can sort of see my total time. There you go. Is that coming up? I'm not sure if it is. That's MCC pilot log, the logbook I've used for 11-12 years. 2,671 flights in an aeroplane. It's just balmy. Thanks for subscribing, Siberia, as well. Welcome on board. Just realised yoke cam's still on. Still haven't seen any blue sky all day. Outside the temperature is minus 32, so we still need engine anti-ice on. Excuse me, guys. Still do have a bit of the lasting effects of a chest infection. Excuse me. Hello, Spliff Jam. Welcome aboard. Ah, Melon, you were at Rio on Sunday. Very cool. Is there any chance you flying into Eindhoven anytime soon? You're dispatched there. It would be mega to catch you. I cannot disclose such facts. Maybe I have been into Eindhoven, but I very much doubt I'll fly in there anytime soon. Because I'm living in the sim. But when I do fly, I'm not flying into Eindhoven anymore. But dankjewel for your kind words. But yeah, I was at Rio on Sunday. I kept a very low profile. I wasn't there with my flight deck sim merch on, you know, just dressed as a normal civilian. And when is your next failures video? Whenever really. Won't be anything until next week, so I'm having a little break this weekend. Long weekend away. Cool. Why is all this beautiful Alaska coastline? 10 degrees. And we should be landing around 22-23, just about an hour's time. Yeah, that was a very interesting approach there. Aaron, you sound a bit worn down. Oh, that's about the 10th person that's asked the last 2 days. Yeah, I've had a chest infection, buddy. Had a chest infection. Signed off work for a week last week, but I'm out on annual leave. And took my antibiotics, feeling much better, but still just got the lasting effects and of that chest infection. The cough's going to probably linger for a bit longer. But it's the worst one I've had for years. Pan, how far along the route are we? So you can see your progress with that blue bar right at the top here. So we've been airborne for 15 minutes. We've got 435 miles to run. But that tailwind's going to help us northwest bound. Check out the outside air temperature. Minus 40 now, so you can actually turn the engine anti-ice off. It's too cold for the ice to really adhere to the aircraft now. Oh, very good swimming climbing, learning to fly VOR to VOR thanks to learning from professional flight sim streamers. Very cool. Devil Riser, you get free tickets to Riyadh each year. I haven't been in about 5 years. Well, what do you do with your free tickets? I'm sure you can find 5 people in chat this evening who will happily take them. Or maybe 4, if you give one to me. Pangolin, were you not doing multiple legs tonight? Yes, so this has been over 2 streams. If you look in the video description below or go to my YouTube homepage, you'll see the first 2 sectors we did yesterday in the Zebo mod in X-Plane 12, from Seattle to Kitchikan, and then Ketchikan, and then to Sitka. And today we're doing Sitka to Juneau, which was the first sector. This is the 4th leg of the Milk Run, and conclusion from Juneau to Anchorage now. But I would like to see some of that beautiful scenery in Alaska. It looks like we might not be seeing anything today. Climbing well. Can actually go up to 380, no problem. So if there's any benefit to going up to 380, I thought we were actually far to 380. It did change to 3.6. Must have been the new flight plan I generated. So 2,000 feet above, save no time, but we actually save 4 kilos of fuel. So we'll go up to 380. 380. Set. Once. Twice. And 3 times. There we go. Steve makes a change for the pilot to have a bug rather than the sim. Glad you're nearly over it. I know. Now this sim's been very good. The only issue I've had in the PMDG this evening was when we did the go around in Juneau, push toga, and we got GA correctly enunciated, but the speed at which the auto throttle came up was way too slow. I actually had to disconnect the auto throttle and add thrust manually. Oh, yeah, 4 kilos, but that's free scratch 4 kilos. You know, if you did 3,500 flights a day, if you're an airline and you did 3,500 flights a day and you managed to save 4 kilos on every sector, how much fuel have you saved? That's enough to fill up a 737 to do a 4-hour sector. So I know it sounds trivial, but when airlines can find 4 kilos of fuel saving a sector and you operate 3,500 flights a day, you think about how much they'd save in a year. Swim and climb, question flight into sim. What is the longest distance away from a VOR you'd be able to pick it up in your aircraft, for example, in a German aviation aircraft with steam gauges? Well, it really depends on several factors. What's the range of the VOR? You know, where are you? What's the line of sight like? But typically, you know, in the cruising these, you can pick up a VOR 200 miles away, sometimes a little more. But you must only use it within its area of coverage. That's the main thing to remember. Pretty sure I have to check my operators' SOPs. Steve, yeah, saw that when I went on the stream back. I've also had the throttle lag like that too. Yeah, so the auto throttle is quite responsive when you push toga on a go around GA, and it'll add the thrust usually in 2 or 3 seconds. But that I pushed it and it wasn't coming up. So obviously the flight director's pitched up to 15 degrees. Followed those in anticipation for go-around thrust, which was I teach day in, day out in the sim. And I was like, oh, airspeed low, great. So I had to disconnect the auto throttle lower than nose to get the speed back up. On to go, and we're above the cloud finally. Completely overcast. But the sim is running very smoothly. Shame we can't see that beautiful coastline today. Pangolin, why wouldn't you want the auto throttle to take power straight to maximum immediately on go around? So there's 2 go around thrust settings. You push when you press toga, you want to go around. So you want that thrust quite quickly. But reduced go-around thrust is around 85 to 90%, whereas push toga again, FMA GA will change to M1, which is maximum go-around thrust, which is seldom used for 2 engines. It's usually too much. If not, you have to disconnect the order. If you're hand flying, you have to set the thrust manually in the 737. So yeah, only one push is needed, but it was very slow, the order throttle, to react in the PMDG today. But yeah, the reason you want to add thrust abruptly, Pan, is you imagine your push toga, the flight directors will pitch up to 15 degrees. You've got landing flap probably out 30 to 40, retracting to 15, and the gear's down. So if you don't have thrust applied quickly, you're going to get into a low speed situation, which is what happened today. Aaron, when you're instructing your students as to advice, do you respond, can't teach it? No, I only say that when I absolutely nail something, which is very rare. Would never say otherwise. Yes, Siberia, I only have a Discord for members only of the channel. Right, the cruise, M1 limits, let max continuous thrust, gives us more thrust margin if we get into a low speed situation. Do a fuel check, but unfortunately the next waypoint is at top of descent, so there's not much we can really do. We should be arriving with 2.6 tons, which is fine. Reserves are 1.8. We took standard block fuel, so the weather should be good. Let's check our routing. There we go. We could. Oh yeah, that was our alternate from Juneau, Yakutat. We could tune that 13.3. Why not? Cool. That's active. There you can see the HSI pointing right at it. Perfect. Back to map. Oh, nice to actually fly. Since we left Seattle, we've been going to tiny little Alaskan airports. Now we've got a proper ILS. Flight deck to Prague, unbelievable. Ballistic Rice, excited for the 707 coming to Microsoft Flight Sim. It's airplane heaven, so I'm hoping they break the curse of mid-airlines. How are airplane heaven as a developer? Hopefully someone will mod it anyway to improve it in time. But I will definitely try it. Oh, Pan, yeah, Flight Sim, I thought you said usually responds within... when I say Bangolin, sorry, let me rephrase. Usually responds within 2 to 3 seconds. Let me rephrase that. When you push toga, you have the thrust set, go around thrust set within 2 to 3 seconds. That's what I was meant to say. Yeah, as you've alluded to at the end of your comments. So climb, you're at 15,000 feet in rough weather, icing, and I've got de-icer on. So when I climb out the cloud, what do you recommend? ATC Set Cruise at 15,000. So yeah, I mean, you need to know where the tops of the clouds are really, but depends what the aircraft's certified to fly in as well. Light aircraft generally, light icing only. So yeah, do something you can to get out of it. Well, if you ever took part in the old BBC series Robot Wars, what would you call your robot? I remember the one in the corner, Sir Killalot. Who remembers who Robot was? Sir Killalot was the one that was the one you had to look out for. And when I was a kid, it was the one that was the champion for years, is the one with the spinny thing at the front. I can't remember what it was called. But what would I call my robot? I don't know. Balderlot? I don't know. Matilda! Yeah, that was another one as well. Crikey. I think Disco something, yeah. It won all of them. It was a incredible machine. And then I had it on PlayStation as well. Eduardo, can we see your graphics configuration? It's all set to high end. Sergeant Bash, I can't remember that one. Hypnodisc, Panko, I think that was it. Yes, very good. Craig Charles as well, yeah. I heard that Scrap Heap Challenge might be making a return as well. I used to love that. Ah, Steve, apparently the passengers are linked to the seatbelt switch. Something else which I forgot, apparently they could not link them simply to the doors. Okay, so, well, I think to this sector, because of the issues in Juneau, we're not seeing them on the ground even with it on, so I don't think it's worked today. They are also in Anchorage airspace all the way to Anchorage. How many streams have we done to Anchorage before? I don't think we've done many, have we? Let's have a look. Goodness, I've only done one stream, and it was from, as if this is the first ever time on a live stream I've landed in Anchorage. Yeah, I remember that, Anchorage to Juneau, we were talking about that earlier, in the working title citation, into Juneau, and we struggled then, I remember, actually. Actually, what approach did we fly then? I love you. Oh crikey, my old voice from years ago. What approach? Oh, I think we had a go around look at 9,000 feet. Bear in mind I was flying an aircraft that I think we did the same thing. I think we turned the live weather off. Repeat. God, I can't remember how to fly this thing. Oh yeah, look, direct to oh, get me again. Yeah, I turned live weather off. Same issue. Did I butter it? I think that was just with stock. Yeah, look. Like, oh, that was dodgy. Well, I think we flew the same approach we did today. But with stock scenery, look. Yeah, I think live weather was broken then. God, that's an old stream. When was that? 3 years ago. 11th of January 2021. Oh, it's probably a lockdown or something, wasn't it? Crazy. Crazy. Plan to go around at 9,000. Yeah, all the way up to 9,000. We did it earlier as well. Just because train's really high around. Aaron, will you try the ATR again? Well, we've done a couple of streams in there, haven't we? 2 or 3. I've really got the ATR bug. It's got a few rough edges, but it's very rewarding to fly. It didn't have some weird issue with drag when it was released. Like, I remember going idle thrust in the turboprop with no power, and it was descending at like 1,000 feet per minute clean, and holding the speed. And I was like, that ain't right for a turboprop. I mean, even the 737 wouldn't get that rate up to Z. Hopefully it's improved. Oh, well, the 707, that's certainly something I'd love to try. No, I see your comment earlier. Yeah, at least Anchorage has an ILS, that is true. Pan, you love Scrap Paper Challenge as well. Kids grew up on it too. We'll end up doing robotics in 6th form. No way. No, it still falls like a brick. No, that's good, Ballistic, right? Before, it didn't feel like a brick. It felt like a super efficient glider. Now, if it's falling like a brick, that's a good thing. No, there's no terra firma inside. Oh, there is some terra firma. Ah, there's Alaska. Unfortunately, it's not the best view, really. Just walk like that. Just put the sim down slightly. There we go. Beautiful. Well, I suppose the big flight sim news this year will be the release of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. But I don't know what else is going to release. It's all been about the PMDG 777 and the Flight Factor 1 still in development. I'm all 777 out. I did about 6 777 streams in a row. Is that correct? Is there currently ice sort of... Would you find it ice this time of the year? Well, I was seeing it was 15 degrees in Juneau. Probably not. ATR is odd that you can descend at a much higher indicated airspeed, so if you crank 240 knots throttle back to throttle, it descends pretty quickly. Well, that's good. That's good. Oh, the Flyby A380 will be released this summer. That will be very popular. Wow, only 4 months to 2024. Is it as short as that? Flipping heck. Well, does that mean everyone's going to uninstall Microsoft Flight Sim 2020? Look, I'm going to have 3 simulators installed. Should have the space. Alright, Daffy, hope you're doing well. Just came in. How's the flight going? So far, so good on our second sector to Anchorage. First sector was quite eventful with the weather, but we got in with some hocus pocus to the weather. Coming up to 20 to 11 here at night. Off to see family tomorrow. They still haven't entirely got rid of the bug of ice everywhere above X degrees latitude. Ah, okay. It's sort of melted a little bit coming off into the screen now. See how it is in Anchorage. And yet 2024 will no doubt have plenty of bugs on release that will break our favourite add-ons. I imagine a transition period. Yeah, they've announced that it's all going to be compatible, isn't it? All the 2020 add-ons, which is good. But no doubt some devs will have to make changes. But how many products are there for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020? There must be tens of thousands. Like freeware included. Ballistic Rice, if you could drag and drop the community folder into the new sim, that would be amazing. Yeah, I don't think it was as simple as that. Well, maybe. Who knows? Rahul says, I love flying the Zeebo compared to the PMDG, but I was hoping you could give some tips on the right amount of aileron input, crosswind landings, and when to decrab. That's a really good question, Rahul. I love the Zeebo mod too, especially when it comes to manual handling. So what we'll do is quickly have a look at my old tutorial. Because there is no right amount of aileron, it's a visual thing. You've got to look outside when you decrab to judge how much aileron you need. Classic intro. So this is the crosswind landing I did in the tutorial 15 knots. So you can see I put left rudder and I'm putting aileron into wind to keep the wings level. So that's how much aileron you need, is the amount to keep the wings level. So I think I've got the full yoke cam here. There you go.
End the runway now.
So have a look at this.
Good. Keep descending. Speed's okay. Looking towards the end of the runway now.
So that's really important with every landing, is when you're at the threshold, make sure you look towards the end of the runway. So your viewpoint sort of triggers from no longer looking inside to outside, no longer looking at the aiming point here, but you're now going to look there. So when you start your flare, you don't decrab until you're just above the ground.
Check.
So there's the flare. I've checked, increased back pressure. Now I'm going to reduce thrust to idle.
Close.
And there you can see I put left rudder in to decrab. Now I've probably done that a smidge too high, but not an issue. And the aileron input I'm now putting in now, Rahul, is completely visual. I'm looking still towards the end of the runway here. So I'm looking towards the end, I'm just keeping the wings level. The intention during the crosswind landing and takeoff is keep wings level.
Left rudder, aileron into wind, a little bit too much aileron.
And I put a little bit too much left aileron in, which is why I dipped, but by the time we actually touch down, the wings are perfectly level. But look how much control column input I've got here. And that was to do with the fact that when we decrabbed here, I used left rudder, the right wing has an increase in lift, and the left wing has a decrease in lift, which causes the aircraft to roll left. And I've counteracted that by putting aileron into wind to keep the wings level. Okay.
Yeah, not bad. So left.
Just to watch it again in real time. Watch the control column.
Looking towards the end of the runway now. Check. Close. Left rudder. Aileron into wind. A little bit too much aileron.
You can see, this is why I like X-Plane. You know, this is really realistic. Okay, this amount of aileron I put in is exactly what I'd probably have to do with a real 20 knot crosswind. Unfortunately, Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't really... Let me show you. Okay. This is a demonstration. If I just turn up the sim here, please don't do this in real life. Alright, disconnect the autopilot. So, if I'm going to put a boot full of right rudder in, okay, like this. And you see how it's actually very good PMDG. You're getting this secondary effect here. So I'm flying the airplane. So I'm trying not to descend. You're going to be so careful at this high altitude that you don't put too much G loading on, because you can get your angle of attack, at which you stall, is much lower at higher Mach numbers and higher altitudes. So the secondary effect of yaw is roll. So sort of as I put left rudder in here, you can see the aircraft without making any air up in it is rolling to the left. That's actually very realistic. I take that back. I don't know if that's improved, because I've done that before in the past in the PMDG and there's been hardly any roll input. So they've definitely improved things there. What's interesting is I haven't done a crosswind landing in the PMDG 737 recently. Usually the amount of aileron you need to do in this is very low, where in reality, just like in that tutorial, you have to make quite a large aileron input. But that secondary effect was actually pretty darn good. Command A. So yeah, if you're interested in watching that video, guys, I'll put the link in there. It's actually had quite a few views now, 35,000. But that's the crosswind landing technique in the 737 as taught during the type rating. I'll stick it in chat now. If I can actually work out how to get to my channel. There we go. I'll stick it in for you. There you go. Perfect. Cool. Right. 100 miles on top of descent. Start best setting up. So I think they're landing here on the easterly runways, aren't they? So no real world ATIS unfortunately available. But I think on my phone it shows the D-ATIS. So yeah, I've got D-ATIS on my phone. So Anchorage, information Juliet, they're landing on 7 left. Okay, so there it is. The runway closest to the terminal. So we'll plan on 7 left. Just coffee, guide. Excuse me. Oh, my eyes watering. So let's start setting up descent forecast. Let's fetch the winds and the QNH. Anchorage. Which is a Mercury, I should say. It's 3008. So that's in. Forecast uplink ready. Load. Cool. Execute. Winds are in. Love that feature. Let's have a look at the star. So, oh, we're no longer doing this actually. We were told to now fly, not the Tiger 9, the Whitty 4. So we need to deselect that. Unpin. Okay, so we're coming in via Johnston Point, which we're currently inbound to, from Johnston to Whitty. Whitty 16000 checks in the FMC. Gale 15 to 12,000 checks, then to slow at above 8,000, and then silty 5,400, left turn westbound to Andy 5,000 feet 210 knots. So that's all coded correctly. What if I just clicked and done there? I've on the speed brake. So pretty happy with that. That's all coded correctly. Onto ILS 07 left. So we're going to get vectored after that, but obviously there's no ATC at the moment, so we could self-position, that's fine. MSA, once we're to the west, is 1,800 feet. So what we'll do, we'll self-position to Wugsy after Andy at 5,000 and go from there. 1099 is the... Oh, what's going on? Oh, I thought I disconnected the autopilot. It was you, Michael. Thank you very much for your membership, buddy. 1 month. Hi, Captain. Great to hear you're all better. Not quite, but much better than I was feeling, as I just had to mute the mic for a minute ago. Thanks for the stream. Good time for us down under. Of course, you're most welcome. It's coming up to 11 o'clock at night here in the UK. Thanks for popping in, buddy. So 1099 is the ILS. And to make that active, box 1 and 2. It's the same actually as the LDA in Juneau. The VOR frequency is TED, Anchorage 11315. That's active. Minimums 328 feet. Ah, nice standard minimums. With an RVR of half a statute mile, isn't it? So 1,800 feet. 328. Takes a long time to set the minimums. Cool. So south position to the south. Platform altitude is 2,000, stepping down to 1,600, which is the final approach fix at Webby. That checks. Runway points coded. Unfortunately, no fixed glide path angle in the FMC, which there should be. The MSFS approach, which we've already done one today, but if we have to do it again, climb straight ahead 600 feet, right turn to 3,000 on heading 230 off the TED VOR, radial 210 to Duke to hold, and then right turn to 3,000 feet to Edef Takan. I'll go to check after initially to hold. Oh, that's Takan aircraft that we get, that's not us. So Duke hold at 3,000, which is coded in the FMC. Wonderful. Landing on 7 left then, which will get the correct airport. We've got 3,200 metres available. I think it's convenient to take the first left. Take Bravo or Charlie. Let's have a look at the performance. Seven left. Import weather and aircraft details for landing. Flat 30. Calculate 1,700 metres now. What's the winds there? 290. Okay, slight tailwind, that's fine. But more than enough runway length available for Delta or Charlie or Bravo. And then we'll just taxi to any convenient terminal space. Burning 600 kilos, 58.5 as mentioned. Flat 30. Order brake 3. Second intent reverse. Yeah, I don't know why they filed me, Lauren, or Simbri filed Taker 9. I didn't know any different. I just executed it and went, yeah, I'll do that. Rahil's secondary effect is pretty nice in the PMDG. Ground effect is still too much in Microsoft Flight Sim, making the flare yoke back pressure requirement significantly lower. I agree. So it settles on the runway very nicely, too easily in fact, whereas in real life the aircraft sort of smashes straight through that ground effect, especially if you're low on speed and with flat 40. Aaron, so you dial in the minimums exactly as they've stated on the chart. I heard before that adding 50 feet is common. So that's to do with if the minima, Aaron, is a DA or an MDA. So an ILS is a DA, so we don't need to add anything to this. So we set 328 straight away because we can execute the go around at this height and descend below it. It doesn't matter, it's a decision altitude. An MDA, if you have a look here at the localizer only approach, that's an MDA. We must add an increment. The reason is, if we get to 500 feet and then execute the go around, the inertia of the aircraft will take you below the MDA before you go around. You must not descend below the MDA if you're not visual. It's a big fat, hard rule with PANS ops or TERPs in the US. You cannot bust this. So that's why in my operator we had 40 feet, so you execute the go around at 40 feet above the minimums. 540, you probably hit about 520 by the time the aircraft starts climbing, so that's why we make the increments. Hope that makes sense. That's better, look at that scenery. Very nice. Yeah, exactly, Pangolin. Oh, so much more relaxing this flight compared to that first sector. Yeah, 4 sectors in 2 streams, not bad. Started off in Seattle yesterday. Leon, so do most operators use ILS near enough every time regardless of weather, or they choose a different approach? No, you'd usually go for whatever approach is available that's going to provide the lowest minima. ILS obviously is a lower workload as well because the aircraft is following the lateral and vertical profile. A non-precision approach, it's still obviously flying a lateral profile if you've got a localizer or something in the FMC in a vertical profile using a pitch mode, but the workload's a little higher. As an LTC or training captain now, I have to do a number of non-precision approaches during training. So that's the only time when I'd actually say to ATC, look, request for, if the ILS is available, I'd probably request a localizer or maybe a VOR approach as for training requirements. Well, Steve, yes, we can see where we're going on this sector. That is true. Yeah, that's very. Lauren's made a good point there. In the US, they often clear people for visual approaches. You've still got the ILS available. That doesn't happen in Europe. If they clear for a visual, that is a proper visual approach. You know, ATC are no longer responsible. And if the ILS is there, you know, you're expected not to use it. Pan, is there a route? Is this route one that in real life is done end-to-end in a single aircraft, single seat set of crew? No idea, Pangolin. I think that there's a really good YouTube video from last year of a passenger that did this, and I think they swapped. Did they swap crew? I don't know. Have a look on YouTube. Type in Alaska Milk Run, and that probably will be the top hit. And it's a review of the sectors. We're doing flight 67. I don't know what they did on YouTube. That's an interesting colour. Or sort of loading in, I think. And what is the actual weather? I've not actually looked at that. 2905, 10 miles, few at 700. Yeah, that's great. Forecast is pretty good as well. Cool. Flying all night, loving the late night flying vibe. Yeah, so I like streaming at this time as well. That's why I sort of broke up the 2 streams so some people can watch that don't usually watch live. Ah, very good, Pan going. Good priorities. Two tons, hope you're doing well, buddy. Clock out in 4 minutes so I can actually focus on the stream. Ah, very good. So you will have arrived at a good time. We're just about to start our descent into Anchorage. Descent is coming up, 7.6 miles to go. Let's have a look at the arrival, set a sensible altitude. So 16,000 feet at Whitty's the first restriction to be at or above. Set that now. Set, might as well push out into vent, start descent now. Off we go. Ah, you're going to be departing from Anchorage. Very cool, Teutons. We will see you shortly. So, remember when you push out into vent prior to top of descent in the 737, the aircraft will descend at 1,000 feet per minute until it parches top of descent and that profile starts coming back towards you. When it's back on path, retard arm, and then it will do an idle path descent. Excuse me, guys. Oh, I'm really croaky again. Oh yeah, saw about this London update Microsoft Flight Simulator. You're doing a flight from Bristol to City tomorrow and see what it looks like. Very cool. Touring 4x4, have you got any mods for better runway lighting in the sim, or have you heard of any decent? I'm just using stock lighting and I haven't heard of any decent lighting, I'm afraid. Pan, what would you do if you did press out into vent? It'll do this, which is what I did. I did push out into vent. Down we go. Oh, I did put fix rings in. I will turn the replay tool on for this as well. Before we get a little bit closer. There we go. In thrust we trust. Oh, I love that bass sound. No problem, Pangolin. Yeah, pushed on this one just to start the descent. You know what I want to do now? I want to fly. I'm not going to fly DCS. I can't. I've tried it. It's just too many controls. But having gone through it, is there any decent military aircraft available in the desktop sim, like a bomber or an old something? Is someone making a B-17 or a Lancaster or something like that as well? I've just got I've got an inkling. I just want to fly something like that in the sim. I don't know what decent classical aircraft there are like that. I mean, the Vulcan. Yeah, for me, Steve, I know DCS is popular. Every time I've tried to use it, I just can't get my head around the controls. X-Plane SR-71. It's actually any good. By V-Skylabs, I've used their... yes! The glider... The electric glider we flew once from V-Skylabs. DC-6 I've not flown in ages. Yeah, we flew that once in... Did we fly that in North Alaska once? I can't remember. It's been a long time. Been kept up to date by PMDG, hasn't it? That's a tough aircraft, that is. You've got a lot to manage. Yes, the Vulcan. Well, I do fear that Vulcan caused issues on my PC. Because it was after that Vulcan stream I had so many issues with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I've been scared to reinstall it. Not so, yeah, I don't know, because I think a lot of people got it and had no problems, but it upset my Microsoft Flight Sim massively. Who remembered that stream I did and had about 6 crashes, and after that my Microsoft Flight Sim completely broke. I had to do a complete reinstall of the sim, and ever since then I've actually, touched wood, not had any issues. That was about 6 months ago. Beautiful scenery ahead, look at that. The star sort of actually takes us for a little bit of a valley look here. Overhead gale to slow. Yeah, but unfortunately Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't have any proper sort of like, you know, Felis 747 style or FlyJSim style aircraft. Hi Andrew, good evening to you sir, welcome aboard. Or good morning I should probably say. So VNAV's holding this aircraft path very nicely, and I have to say, as much as I've loved X-Plane, it's been so much easier to set up in Microsoft Flight Simulator this stream, but it's just an all-in, the package now is just so polished. PMDG is working in a real exemplary manner as well. It's only been the go-around with the go-around thrust, otherwise it's handled this really well. Touring 4x4, haven't had any issues with DC6, okay. Maybe I could think of it. Rolling that out again. When was I last streaming the DC6? God, a couple of years at least. I've flown the DC3 since then. We did a little stream in, actually it wasn't too far away from here, it was further west, wasn't it? On the, I forgot the chain of islands to the west of Alaska. Yeah, is that the Bluebird 7.5, Sam? I've heard some good things about that. And its development looks really good. Was it the Aleutian? That's it, Panko. Yeah, we did the DC3, and that's really lacking equipment. I think it didn't even, it had only just a compass in it. Is that all we could use? Yeah, that's good. Some nice updates. But the PMDG 7.3 is really, really handling well. Bit of weather ahead. I mean, when I say weather, just cloud. Nothing too inclement. Very nice. First ever time in 7 years of streaming, or well, 5 years of streaming, we've actually gone into Anchorage, such a you know, significant airport in the world. Canary's brilliant. Go for it, Sam. We're all ready for your random geology fact. Yeah, we've been chatting about that, James. There is a 707 coming. Oh yeah, the Fokker. That's a good point. Something like the Fokker at 28. Oh yeah, just like about to update or release the Avro, aren't they? Which will be quite nice to take online, and with its more modern avionics suite. Hi James, hope you're doing well. James is a good friend of mine. Feeling much, I feel much better, James. Still having a few little coughing moments yesterday, more so, but certainly on the mend, albeit very nasally. Thanks, pop again. Have you just finished work or starting work? Very nice to England, very good. Beautiful. There we go, we are overhead Whitty. We should use some charts here, shouldn't I? There we go. So we can now step down to 1-2000, that's the lowest. Set and VNAV. Matt said, why did the chicken cross the runway in front of the Airbus? To show them it can be done manually. Right. That's a 3 out of 10, Matt. I'll give it 3. Yeah, no more. In fact, I think that might even be worth a. Where's my my soundboard? I can't find it quick enough. I've lost the moment now. Oh well. Thumbs up. Just finished, James. Very good. Cool. So after Gale, next restriction will be 8,000 of slow. So inclined, but yes, it would be nice to see you back in a DC-6 or Fokker 28. Yes! There's certainly an aircraft I'd have to get up to speed again with. But, you know, I know... excuse me. Yeah, obviously I can jump into this aircraft any day of the week and just fly it, which is the beauty of being type rated on it. Set the local QNH 3002. But it's always fun when we take another aircraft online. Oh, Flying Walnut, thank you very much for your donation. It's very kind. £5. It will come through very shortly on the Autobot thing. You said when Alpaca... Oh, it's your birthday today, Flying Walnut. Let us know in chat. Choose one called to... went to Alpaca walking. Chose one called Toulouse. Had a word with myself for choosing one named after Airbus's home. Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Flying Walnut, for your £5 donation. And if it is your birthday, you shouldn't be sending me a donation at all. That's very kind of you. And let us know in chat if it is.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Ugh, cough's coming back. Oh, approach is online.
Went alpaca walking for my birthday, chose one called Toulouse, had a word with myself for choosing one named after Airbus's home. Smiley face.
Brilliant.
Smiley face.
Smiley face, smiley face. Oh, it's Lauren again. Lauren's providing ATC everywhere. She must have quickly flown over from Juneau. Anchorage approach, good afternoon, it's Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, descending 12000, and we are flying on the Witty for our nav arrival.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, good approach information.
Oops.
Yeah, altimeter is 3007, just confirm your passing altitude.
Passing altitude 14,700, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo. How do you say that? Yeah.
4 Mike Romeo, thanks, ILS 7 right, or correction 7 left.
ILS 7 left, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo. What did you fly in to get to Anchorage so quickly? You were in Juneau a second ago.
Well, you fly with Alpaca Airways, I fly a Grizzly Bear.
Very good, very quick Grizzly. So good, so good. Thanks, Lauren, for the ATC today. That's fantastic. See that terrain poking through the clouds? As a girl swimming club, it's Lauren Girl. Flying Walnut. Oh, it was your birthday a few days ago. Redeemed myself with 737 fixed base sim session. Very cool. Whereabouts did you do that? And anyway, look, I've got my happy birthday for the other day lit.
Happy birthday!
Yes. Once it goes checked, we can now step down to 8,000 feet at slow. That's set. Very good, PMDG.
Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot, descend and maintain 2000.
Oh, we've got another Alpaca.
Can maintain 2000, Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot.
Cool. Awesome. Very nice approach. Interestingly, if I go at Navigraph look, you can see it's really nailing that track pretty much exactly on the black line, but on this chart, on the iPad, it's showing a little bit to the north. But I'm pretty happy it's accurately being flown. So approaching 10,000, the aircraft's going to start pitching up. There's the decel point, that green dot. Start pitching up now to reduce to 250 knots. It's a mini alpacalypse, yes.
Anchorage, approach, good day, Lufthansa 525, this Kilo request clearance.
Ah, he's got a long night ahead.
5 heavy Anchorage departure and will clear to the Miami airport via the
Miami.
Anchorage 1 departure, radar vectors Yeska, then as filed.
Probably going to leave it on autopilot, go to bed after this.
Expect flight level 370, 1 minutes after departure. Departure is this frequency and squawk 4137.
Yeah, what's Anchorage to Miami flight time?
Lufthansa 525 Heavy cleared to destination, Anchorage 1 departure, direct Jaska and initial climb 4000, expect 370 and squawk 4137.
Just confirm it's going to be Anchorage 1, then radar vectors Yeska, not direct.
Confirmed, radar vectors and after that Jaska, Lufthansa 525.
Now past 10,000, 8,000 feet, post cruise checked. Fuel 4 pumps
Ramp is
lights.
on control, just call for taxi.
And episode pressurization
Recall,
3.9 set. Oops, that should be on already. Recall checks complete. Ooh, that's a bit of a dirty dive. Look, that'll make you feel sick. Crikey. A little bit aggressive there, pitching down, but it's sort of sorted itself out. Approaching slow now, so we can step down to 5,400 feet to be level at Silty. That's set. Approaching downwind soon. So in Cambridge, new sim, absolutely brilliant. Set up with dry lease. So 4 hours, oh cool. We went from Stansted to Dublin and a bit of UPRT for fun at a very good rate. Oh, very cool. Oh, we did a bit of UPRT there for a second ago. So to keep an eye on the speed, spent it around 250. We set it to 240 default, so I'm just keep an eye on it. So soon, to be level at 5,000 feet at Andy and at 210 knots, bit of drag required, we'll keep an eye on it. And you can see here the decel for the 210 knots.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, descend and maintain 2,000.
So maintain 2,000, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo. So under radar control, 2,000 feet set. That's awesome. Right, best start this flight recorder.
Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot, turn right heading 350, vectors to the final.
Right heading 350.
Just updated the client as well, it's the latest version. Right, I've opened the app, I just need to turn it on, which I'll do on base leg. Just have to remind me of base leg if I forget. 90 degrees, very warm, so we don't need engine anti-ice on. And we're downwind.
Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot, keep the right turn going, heading 050.
Right turn 050, Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot.
Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot, you're 9 miles from Webby. Maintain 3,000 until south. Correction, 2,000 until south. And you're cleared out 7 left approach.
Cleared out left 7 left approach. Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot will maintain 2,000 until established.
Just sitting on top of the clouds here, very, very nice. Evening, Stephen Beekman, good to see you here, buddy. There's the decel for 210 knots now. And we'll get ready to go heading select at Andy. Yeah, Rosie, Lauren's travelled via Polar Bear, I think it was, to get here ahead of us. Oh, quite see the airport. Ooh, wind turbines. So I'm going to go level change now and just fly 220 knots in descent. And the star terminates by just maintaining heading after Andy. So we'll go heading select now. There we go. And we can just keep updating to Wugsy. That 5,000 feet puts you at a perfect height to accept a turn on base and on to final. Grizzly bear, sorry, no, grizzly bear. Polar bears are a little bit further north.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, turn right heading 350 back to 5.
Riding 350, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo. This is looking lovely for a CDA.
Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot winds at Anchorage, currently 2705 knots, runway 7 left, clear to land.
Clear to land 7 left, Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot.
Free Scratch, do you ever get surprised by things you see out the window after years?
Approach,
It's a bit predictable. You know, we
33.
sort of see the same thing. Oh, bang, bang,
Alpaca 75 runway 33, thanks to Echo.
You know, you see things which you haven't seen before, but you know, you just I enjoy it because I don't fly that very often either. Vertical speed 500.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo, keep the right turn going, heading 050.
Running 050 degrees, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo.
Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo is 900 miles from Webby, maintain 2,000 until established, clear to ILS 7 left approach.
It's copied, maintain 2,000 feet and clear ILS 7 left, Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo. Good, so just using vertical speed to fly CDA now, which is probably a dot below the glide slope, which will come in now. He says, there you go. That's looking good. And we'll select flat 1. Speed checked. And we're starting the flight recorder now. I remembered! Yes. Okay, cleared ILS 1 top below, armoured approach. Is the water this blue? It's very tropical, isn't it? Oh, there's our shadow. Superb. Flat 5. Now we'll just maintain 180 knots. Thanks, Steve. So, you know, it was showing me high, but we're actually slightly below profile. I wouldn't anticipate that, really. There we go, but I've updated it now. That's better. Cool. Okay, localize a glide slope capture. So Mr. Approach altitude 3,000 feet set, and runway heading is set as well. Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo established, ILS 7 left.
Okay.
So we'll reduce to flat 5 speed when we get to about 8 miles. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I thought I'd mute the mic. That was horrible. Sorry, guys. So approaching 10 miles. Oh no! Nearly caught me out. Look at this. This is so common in the US.
4 Mike Romeo, winds at Anchorage 270 at 7, or correction, at 5 knots, runway 7 left, clear to land.
Runway 7 left, clear to land. Alpaca 4 Mike Romeo. Got to be careful of DME here.
Wake turbulence and company 747 is going to depart runway 33 prior to arrival.
Roger. So. This is such a common thing in the US. DME doesn't always read 0 on the threshold. Here, it reads 1.9 miles.
Back up 5 Mike Foxtrot straight ahead, or
1.9 miles at the threshold, so you've got to be careful of that. That's why we use these
straight ahead or kilo for the ramp, Alpaca 5 Mike Foxtrot.
So configure around 4.5 miles.
Ready to go again?
beautiful in the...
We're ready, Alpaca 75.
Alpaca 75, heavy, roger, winds at Anchorage 2705 knots, runway 33, with takeoff.
Course, runway 33, that won't
Runway
affect
33,
us.
clear for takeoff, Alpaca 75.
Or will it? No, because 33 is that way, isn't it? That's 2 tons, we'll keep an eye out. We're approaching 4 miles then, so gear down. Flat 15. Match speeds. Landing checklist. Start switches continuous. Recall checked. Speed brake. Arm green line. Landing gear down to 3 green. Order brake set to 3. And holding on the landing flap. We'll select flat 30 now. Speed checked. Flat 30. Put that down actually. Flaps we've got 30. 30 green light. Lights on clear to land checklist is complete. So once it gets stabilised, quite light today, 150 passengers, about 56% we needed to maintain the speeds. Disconnecting. Lovely and calm, no wind. So the aircraft departing on runway 33 on the left hand side. 3 reds. Just for about 500-600 feet per minute to get back on the Pappies. Speed. There we are, back on the Pappies. Let's keep descending.
Plus 100.
Checked, rate of descent. Checked, slight mismatch again I think with glide slope and Pappies. So Pappies showing 3 reds, but very high on the glide slope. Continue. So I'll ignore, the Pappies are way too far down. They're meant to be being the touchdown point. I'm very high over the threshold.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
I didn't have to check, it just sort of naturally floated. Right, speed brakes up. The Pappies were well off the glide slope. They're far too down the runway. Right, speed brakes up.
How's that for piano key takeoff? Alpaca 75 heavy, your radar contact passing.
Passing
8 knots. I didn't flare. I just flared not naturally. 60 knots, gas reverse. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Anchorage. Yeah, it was a bit firm that one.
Altitude
But it was a bit weird. The landing behavior wasn't very realistic. I just closed the thrust and I didn't have to pitch up. It just sort of flared up naturally. And that's the
Alpaca 4, Mike Romeo,
effect.
welcome to Anchorage. You can exit left, then kilo to parking.
Left on kilo to parking. Once again, thanks to ATC, Lauren. Alpaca 4, Mike Romeo. Bye.
See you later.
Oh, very good. Thanks, Lauren, for your time. Yeah, so we were talking about the ground effect earlier. If you replay this and look at the landing, I barely had to pitch up. Was that a DC-3? Awesome. I barely had to pitch up, and that was probably the ground effect we were talking about earlier. So I barely pitched up, it just flared on its own, and the real aircraft certainly wouldn't do that. Yeah, apart from that, the aircraft is handled and flown very nice. The Pappies and glide slope are just completely misaligned there. So I just started following the Pappies, and I realised the Pappies were way beyond the aiming point, so they were leaving me high as well. So maybe I should have just followed the glide slope, but you never know with these things. This is just sort of stock scenery with a slight fix in it. The information's in the video description below. Anyway, let's clean up. Flaps coming up. Speed brakes stowed. We'll just taxi straight ahead to park at the main terminal. Transponder to out off. Trims to 4
Lufthansa
units.
525, ready for taxi.
We'll brake to
Lufthansa 525 heavy, runway 33, taxi via Echo, Golf and Kilo, caution, and Alpaca 737 currently your right to, or correct, left to right on Kilo, should be no factors to enter the ramp in front of you.
and then probe. Perfect. So what we'll do,
Echo, Golf and Kilo, and take care of the
we'll go next to the other Alpaca.
Lufthansa 525 heavy.
Don't think there's any air bridges or anything here. There's just the stock bridges. Cool.
Alpaca 75 heavy, turn 10 degrees.
Very entertaining stream. Hope you
10
enjoyed
degrees
it. I
left,
enjoyed
Alpaca 75.
streaming it. Nice
You
to
are
finally
real heavy
conclude
today,
the
aren't
sector.
Yeah, we're running heavy, 75.
Huh.
It's all good. Just need to send you on that heading for a little bit longer.
Oh, Santa, very generous of you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And that was a second donation. You've been waiting for the milk run for a while, haven't you? Thank you.
Love the milk run. We needed to do more 737 bush flying.
Well, that is practically what we've been doing, is bush flying in the 7-3. Very generous of you again. Thank you, SyncTac, for your $20 donation. I've had fun. I really enjoyed planning this as well and reading into the milk run and replicating Flight 67, which we've done. We did Seattle, Ketchikan, I still got to pronounce this place, then Sitka, then Juneau, then Anchorage over 2 days, which has been great fun. Right, I need to try and GSX this thing, don't I? Let's just tell it, what stand is this? 83, which does match the chart actually. Oh, what gate is this? Oh god. Bravo, I guess. Hopefully we'll see some stuff. Ah, things and a marshaller, perfect. Has that randomly put passengers in again? No, no passengers unfortunately. In we come. Thanks, Rosie. Glad you enjoyed the streams as well. Oop. Braking is either off or on. Oh, nailed it! Nailed it! Parking brake set. Surely I'm going to get some sort of fancy GSX dance for that. 2 blues, 1 red, engines dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Anchorage. You better do some sort of hokey cokey or dance, because I only see zeros. About.
Back at 75, extremely heavy turn right on 110 when Anchorage jumps on point.
Where's the fancy dance for not nailing the parking? Oh yeah, you just go and finish your shift and do whatever Alaskans do. Ugh. Right, full shutdown.
Sounds a 525 heavy, Roger, runway 1. Correction, runway 23, clear for takeoff. And winds currently
close the
705
flight.
knots.
And 2000 standby. Right, let's see how we did on New Sky then. Just stop recording as well. Ladies and gentlemen, a 10. Another 10. Oh, look at this. Even though it was long, but that's not even my fault. But yeah, nailed it. Nailed it, nailed it, nailed it, nailed it. Close the flight. Let's just have a look at my impeccable record this month. Just, what a month. What's my average? About 9.98. I was just so disappointed I couldn't get that 10 there. Surely I'm going to get some sort of award from Alpaca Airways Chief Pilot. Brilliant. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed today. Everything worked out really well. The sim was flawless. Well, the weather, the only problem was Juneau. The weather was not depicting the METAR very well at all.
Alpaca 75 looks like you're about to laterally leave my airspace before you climb out of it.
Yeah, that was the only thing. Apart from that, PMDG performed very well. Just the little limitations in the sim with regards to sort of the ground effect and things like that. Cool. It's getting late here, guys. 11:30. I would usually fire up GSX to offload the passengers, but do excuse me whilst I'm being very lazy and just restart it, get rid of everything, and we'll log off of that. So once again, thank you very much to everyone that provided ATC, both Lauren, who has been a member of the channel in the past, and whoever was providing the ATC earlier in Anchorage Sector 2. That was very, very good. Cool. Lauren, yeah, 2 tons is barely climbing out. I don't know where he's flying to. Rahul, it feels like skating on ice when you touch down and roll out. Something is up with the friction and contract modelling in it. Microsoft Flight Sim. Yes, it was certainly a bit. It was the ground effect. I didn't flare at all. It just sort of flared on its own. It hit this magic cushion of air, which has always been a bit of a limitation in the sim. But you know, with all the benefits you get from the sim, and it runs so smoothly for me now, and on the PC, I can see why people have switched to it. But you know me, I love X-Plane as well. I'll continuously use it. Let's hope for some good updates in the sim in X-Plane moving forward, though. 2 tons, you're flying home, even though I'm already here. I know what you mean, 2 tons. Very good. Safe virtual flight, anyway, for the rest of your sector. Right then, let me make sure I've definitely logged off of that sim. I have. I'll just load up the panel state for the replay. So, menu load, final, execute. Just quickly configure these lights. They'll be on for landing. Excellent. Flaps are set to what we want. Turn on the replay music. There we go. Oops, why is that not playing? That's why. So, record load. So why is that replay not working? Oh my god. I did it. I did a thing. So, I mean, I don't need to replay it. We can replay the stream here to sort of see what my control column input was like. But it was, I barely pitched up. You know, you might be able to see it in the elevator. But nothing like flying the sim stream to inspire and bring the magic back. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, you're going to have to get your sim reinstalled, Pangolin, and try some stuff. But yeah, the Pappings, why are they over there? Or is there something unique to Anchorage? It should be there. So look, watch the elevator. I barely flared, and it just flared on its own. Hit the cushion of air, look. That was a bit firm, but certainly no way. Hard landing. Oh, Australian Milk Run next WMOC now. I'm all Milk Run down for now. Oh, look at the horizontal stabilizer jumping up and down. That's really cool. Wow. Oh my god, what's happened to drone cam? Bloop. Yeah, replay's good. Just need some better camera tools in 2024. Very nice. Yeah, landings were good today. Juneau landing was nice too. Just showing about the weather we had earlier, but the sim really performed well. I am enjoying it. Sweet. Right, what I'm going to do, because we don't have any other views available, pop you back in the approach, pop you into the wing view, stow the spoilers, because I've got the magic. There we are, and we'll just continue the replay from that point onwards. That's it, guys. Anyway, I've enjoyed the last couple of days, and it's been a while since I've done any public streams for my chest infection. Nearly feeling 100%, and thanks for bearing with me with the occasional cough today. Nowhere near as bad as yesterday, thankfully. Yeah, we finally completed the Milk Run after years of requests and recent requests from members, and I finally got around to planning and doing it. So I'll leave these both up here, obviously forever, for you to review if you so wish. And thanks for letting me play around with the weather in Juneau earlier, because obviously the live weather wasn't matching up with the Met. Otherwise, I would have diverted and kept it as realistic as possible, but I just wanted to get into Juneau. To show you the scenery, again, thank you to Northern Sky Studio for providing the scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator. They're available in Sim Market, the usual vendors as well. I think it's very reasonably priced, and it's a must if you want to replicate the Milk Run in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Cool, so that's it for today. Thanks to all the donations, to all the the memberships who continue to support as well. Really appreciate it. And to all the regular viewers and subscribers, thank you very much for your usual support as well. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like. And I won't be live again now, guys, until next week, because I'm out with family tomorrow, and then I'm going on holiday with my fiance, just having a quick break in the UK for 4 days. But I'll be back next week before I go to work, end of next week, for a couple more streams. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, guys, and I'll see you all very soon. Good night from me.
Roger, roger.
Do a barrel roll.